Anything could happen.
Anything can happen. I'm going to check the sound on here.
Okay.
Okay, so looks like yours is
Doing something.
doing something. It's connecting.
There's no video.
There
but
it
it's
is.
working.
We've
Okay.
got video.
Here we go. Living in Medellin, Colombia, and as an expat, live Q&A. Is that the title of your one?
Oh, audio is perfect, actually.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. Well, if anybody's watching and the audio sucks, let us know. Because it sounds good on my end, but...
Are you going on Facebook as well?
Well, no, I'm just
Oh,
going to
okay.
post it here.
Okay.
Live. There we go. That people could join. Post that. Okay. All right. So we are live. It looks like we're good.
We're live on everything.
Yeah, I'm going to check just the phone, make sure that
Okay.
everything's good on our end over here. Oh, I just got the notification that we're live. Let's see. And we're talking, and we're playing. Okay. Well, if anybody's watching and...
Looks nice.
Yeah, it looks really
That's
good.
a nice little lamp and stuff.
Good on my end, but...
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah, perfect.
sounds perfect.
Perfect.
All right.
We're 12 minutes early for once in our lives.
we're 12 minutes early, guys, and we are live, and it's been a while.
The first time in a year, I think.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I
for
don't-
you, it's been like the first time in a year.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
live like 3 months ago.
Uh-huh. I don't think I've been on with you this whole year.
Yeah, this is it's good. Let's check the Medellin Living real estate page. Looks like there is no live there
Okay.
for some reason. Let's see. It's supposed to be live there, but I think it'll be okay if we don't go live there.
Okay, we just posted there later.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to make videos out of this content anyway.
Okay.
So I'll just close that there.
Is your one, is it on your channel live?
Yeah. There
Okay.
it is.
That's yours.
Yep.
There we go.
There it is. Okay. So we'll wait until people join us.
Okay, we got 4 on yours already.
Yeah.
Nice.
James says that, hey, I thought you guys forgot about us. We did. we've been busy working. And we got our super dad mugs, even though AK is not a dad. He gets a
Nope.
super dad mug today.
Future dad.
Future dad. Oh. You want to be a dad?
Don't know. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. That's cool.
This is sparkling water?
Yeah, it's sparkling
Yuck.
water. You don't like it?
Horrible.
I love sparkling water. It's my favorite thing.
I don't like drinks with bubbles.
Oh, I
Weird.
didn't know that. That is weird. So you don't drink beer?
Not anymore.
Mm.
I didn't really notice the bubbles in beer.
Yeah, this one's kind of flat anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so guys, we're live. This is the Medellin Buzz and Medellin Living channel and AK's Colombia channel.
Mm-hmm.
And
And we got cool shirts.
and we've got the Medellin Living shirts on.
Yep. This is all Andrew wears these days.
Yeah, this I don't have anything else.
Throwing out all his other
like,
clothing.
Mark
and just wear
Zuckerberg
this.
and Steve
Just wear this.
Jobs.
Business meeting, wedding, funeral. He's got this.
Yeah, my
all the
brother's
time.
wedding. This is what I'm wearing at my brother's wedding.
Is he going to be wearing his as well?
Yeah, he's gonna
That'd
get
be
married in
hilarious.
his.
I'm sure his wife is not going to be happy.
No, yeah. I'll keep yours open over here. We
Okay.
don't need this here. Oops.
This is my one?
No,
that's your one.
that one's mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caesar, is this the Fortnite stream? No, that's on the other channel.
People still play Fortnite?
yeah, it's huge. They have a Simpsons thing going on right now.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah, so we're gonna go over a bunch of questions regarding Medellin Living and Medellin Living real estate. Basically, what it's like living in Medellin. We're gonna do some more advanced questions. If you are a tourist, these questions are gonna go a little bit over the head of just a regular tourist because our audience is usually people that have already lived here or have visited here many, many times, or maybe even are like half Colombian or something, right?
Yeah. People pretty familiar with Medellin.
Yeah. So the questions are going to be a little bit more detailed or more deep than just like, hey, is Medellin safe? If you're our audience, you already know the answer to that question, and no need to go over that stuff.
We have a comment here from Info Blog saying your recording volume is very low.
Recording volume is really low. Let's see.
Just turn it up.
I will turn it up. Let us know if that works. It is higher, or maybe you just got to get a little closer. There.
Okay. Is that better?
Is that better? Let us know.
Is that just too far away from it?
It sounded pretty good on the phone.
Okay.
when
Let's
we
do a sound
watched
check.
it.
Anyone else haven't? Because it's hitting the red bar there.
Yeah,
so
it's
it sounds
hitting the
like it's
red
going to
bar.
be too loud. But
Yeah.
let us know.
if it's too
Remember
loud.
that one time we went live streaming and nobody told us that
It was
like
super.
Remember that one time we went live stream for like 2 hours and no one told us it was too low?
It was, well,
It's
one
like,
of them
can't
was
hear
too low,
nothing.
yeah. But thank you for that info blog.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll just try not to yell because I
Yeah.
feel like it's kept hitting the
Well,
red.
I turned it down a little bit so it doesn't go all the way into the red.
Nice.
Or just a little bit. But I think we're good.
Yep.
So, yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. We're glad to be back. We've been away building a business.
Yep.
We're going to give you an update on that. Also, give you an update on kind of on our lives because a lot of things have happened since the last time you guys saw us. AK got married.
I went around the world.
You went, oh, yeah, you did, right?
5 months around the world.
He went around the world for 5 months. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then he came back.
And bought an apartment.
And you bought an apartment.
And
you
then
remodeled it. Yeah.
And then I moved in.
Yeah. So a lot of huge changes because you also changed neighborhoods.
Yep.
Because he was like the Laureles guy.
Yep. Not
he was
anymore.
Like, I don't like El Poblado. Now he lives in El Poblado.
Yep.
See, when you get a little bit of money, you change. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's actually true. It's actually true.
Wow.
But I'll get into that a bit later, my reasons for moving.
Yeah.
And my reasons for why I didn't like living in Laureles.
Right.
But I still think it can be a good option for some people.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we should touch on that actually because we did kind of a neighborhood guide a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But things kind of have changed a little bit. Some are going up, some are maybe coming down. So we can touch on that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You lived in Poblado. And now you moved as well. We're in a new place.
Yeah.
You moved like 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, I'm still in El Poblado.
Yep.
But yeah, so guys, if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section. We're gonna go over the main questions that we typically get from a lot of you guys know, and if you don't know, we have a relocation business called the Medellin Masterclass. There's a link in the description below to a webinar where you can get all the information if you want to relocate to Medellin. Watch that webinar. Make sure you have like an hour to watch it because it's that long, and you get like a 50% discount or something like that at the end.
Yeah.
So make sure you watch that if you do want to join the Medellin Masterclass. Otherwise, we're going to go over a lot of the questions that people have when they join our community. So these aren't questions of people that aren't in the community. These are questions of people that have relocated here, that are living here.
Yep.
And they're
directly from our WhatsApp group of people actually asking us and asking the other members in the group. There's like 35 or something.
Yeah. How many?
Asking.
We
All
have
the
more than
questions are
that.
from there. I think we have 35 last time
Okay.
I checked. Yeah. Because some people joined but didn't join the WhatsApp group.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so yeah. But the WhatsApp group is really active.
Every day they're asking questions
Yeah.
and talking about stuff. Yeah.
So a lot of important questions about living in Medellin and what life is like, or when you hit a road bump, right? Like a speed bump when you're here, it's like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting this. How do I get over this or whatever?
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot.
We
of
are
stuff.
in Colombia.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that would happen anywhere you want to relocate. And
Of
even
course.
like if you live in the United States and California and you're relocating to, let's say, like Texas or something, you're gonna hit road, speed bumps. You're gonna hit, you're gonna have to cross big bridges because there's a lot of things that you
That's
don't know
true.
about the culture, even in the States. But so we're gonna go over all of that. We'll say hi to some of these guys. James Rochas, how's it going? Jason Wheelock. Speaking of the Medellin Masterclass.
Yeah. He's one of our newest members.
One of the newest members. Jason, how you doing?
Big fan of Andrew.
Banana Republic is here too. The store, Banana Republic. I used to buy shirts from there. Daniel, how's it going? Daniel P. Hey guys, how much money do I need to buy a 1-bedroom apartment in a good area? 30 to 50 meters squared.
In a good area?
Average. In a good area. Well, El Poblado. Let's say El Poblado for a studio apartment or a 1-bedroom.
150 to 200? You could do it.
I think 200 would be like really nice studio.
Yeah.
That would be like a really
I
nice
have never
studio.
seen any 30 square meter studio, but I've seen a few 50s. Actually, I have a client. Here's a funny story, right? This dude hits me up, his wife actually, she's Colombian, and we start talking and blah, blah, blah. And turns out the guy just got to Medellin, and he's from Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And he's from 5 minutes down the road from me.
Wow.
So I've been looking at a few apartments with him, and he's looking for kind of the same thing. 1 bedroom, it's only him and his wife and a little dog. So 50 square meters to 60 square meters.
Yeah.
And they're finding stuff in around about the 150 to 160K range.
Yeah.
Nice and remodeled. No remodeling required. Close to Provenza, Patio Bonito, Manila. all those areas.
Okay.
About 160.
160.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's for an apartment, and that's where you can, let's say if he's not here, he wanted to rent it out.
Yeah, monthly.
Monthly,
30
only
plus
monthly.
days,
Okay,
yeah.
so you could do monthly,
You can't
not
do
just yearly.
Daily rental, anything's going to be like above 200.
Yeah. So actually, to Daniel's question, the only thing that I've seen that's like 20 to 30 square meters are like hotel suites.
Hotel suite.
And technically, you don't really own the hotel suite. You basically own shares in the hotel, but it's a good option.
No, you technically do own it. It's on your name's on the deed.
Yeah, you get a
But they
deed.
have some weird rules like you can't live there.
Yeah.
You can't live there.
So it's
and
not
you can
like
only
a-
stay 5 days. Well, I sold a couple in Provenza.
Yeah.
They're about 100K.
Yeah.
20 square meters. Just basically smack bang right next to Provenza. Like an opposite main Provenza.
So it's like a bed and a bathroom.
Yep, basically. Very
Maybe like
tiny.
a kitchenette?
No kitchen.
kitchenette?
Just bed and bathroom. Like an
Okay.
actual hotel suite. And they had the rule that you can only stay there for 5 days a year.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
make good money, so.
Yeah, because those stay full year round.
All the time, yeah.
Year round, because they're hotels.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that's a good question.
You have another one in Laureles, which is a good area. The one
Yeah.
I asked you about today in,
Yeah.
in St. Peter.
Yeah, in St.
That one's
Peter.
40 square meters,
Uh-huh.
122K.
$122,000 in
And you can live
Laureles
there.
on 70th Street.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite bars, well, my second favorite bar in Laureles is right downstairs called
Okay.
Medellin Sports Bar.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you can live there.
And you can
That's
live
not
there.
one of those ones that's like 5 days, whatever. You can stay
No,
there
you
as
can,
much
yeah,
as
you
want.
own it. Yeah, it's like an actual apartment that you own.
Exactly.
Yeah, so between
150 to 160
150
is
to
good.
160 is a great starting point. You might find something cheaper, you might find something a little bit more, but
Yep.
that's a good range to think about.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Great question. Okay, so let's get started with some of
I
the
like
less
that
questions.
question.
I do. See, we've got great.
I like questions about numbers.
Yeah, we've got great audience. I think I watch a lot of lives,
Yep.
especially from other channels here and stuff like that. And most of them are tourist based, so you get a lot of questions about stuff that we have already covered in 1,000 videos.
Yep.
So we love those more in-depth questions, more poignant questions, right? So okay, so let me do the intro for the video.
Okay.
And then we're recording this, by the way. So, well, actually, we're not. Start recording.
Now we are.
Now we are.
Okay.
Hopefully.
It records on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, but like the quality
video's
is
like
not the same.
Nokia 6120.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, what's up, Silver Slick? How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Okay, let me do the intro for the thing for our the Medellin Living YouTube channel video that we're making. So, what's up, everybody? Andrew here, and
AK Joel.
with the Medellin Living Real Estate channel. In this video, we're going to go over the top questions about buying property in Medellin, and we're also going to answer some questions about living in Medellin. You ready?
Yep, I'm
All right.
ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
1 year in the making.
1 year in the making. Let's go. Damn, we're like pros. I didn't even stutter. When we first started, I sucked in front of the camera. Okay, so...
Question one.
Question number one, lifestyle and daily life in Medellin.
Okay.
AK, this is a good question, I think, for both of us because we both have different lifestyles.
Very different.
Very different lifestyles, but...
I think opposite lifestyles. We talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
And it's weird that we're friends because we're very opposite. in
Yeah, we're
what
very
we do,
opposite.
But very similar in other ways.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you actually build a long-term community here beyond just hanging out with other expats?
Well, my best tip is you just got to find the things you're interested in. Like for me, it's tennis.
Okay.
So I join, all the tennis tournaments and meet people that way. Or
Okay.
it could be another activity you're interested in. For example, if you want to learn Spanish, it could be a language exchange. You go there, you meet other Colombians who are trying to learn English.
Yeah.
Just basically whatever activity you're interested in, find the group, and then go there and enjoy it. A lot of these things are full of Colombians.
Yeah.
Like Steph, one of our first masterclass students.
Right.
He has like 1,000 Colombian friends now.
Yeah.
Doesn't even talk to expats.
Uh-huh.
And he found them all through a hiking group. He found like a local hiking group. They went every Saturday. And then he did that. And I think that's how he met his wife as well.
Wow. Yeah.
He has been here like a year and a half. He's married already.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. And
What do you think?
Yeah, my answer to that would be learn Spanish.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, literally, if you
Yeah.
don't know Spanish, it's going to be very hard in any country, but particularly here in Colombia and Medellin, because most of the locals only speak Spanish.
Yep.
you know, the only people that actually speak English are expats and some Colombians that, you know, want to learn or practice their English.
Yeah.
Where you'll meet them at the language exchanges and stuff like that, but they only want to speak in English because they want to practice English.
Yeah.
So practicing your Spanish and engaging with the community and building long-lasting relationships other than just your expat friends, you've got to know Spanish because you're not going to be able to break in that way.
No.
So, you know, looking up like a good Spanish school where you actually have to go meet, you know, the teacher and be at a location, hopefully in a barrio and not just like in, you know, off Calle 10, you know, because there's a lot of language schools, but there are better language schools that are situated like in a neighborhood. So you're like immersed and you have to actually, if you're going to go to the corner store, you have to practice your Spanish.
Yeah.
I
have a quiz question before we get into that.
Okay.
For everybody watching. On the topic of Colombians don't speak Spanish, what percentage of Colombians actually do speak some type of Spanish?
You mean English?
English, yeah. What percentage of Colombians speak some type of English? I've said this in many, many videos. Not for you, but let's see what they say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what do you guys think? What's the percentage of Colombians that speak English? In Colombia?
Not fluent, but some type of English. In Colombia.
In Colombia. Exactly. Okay, in Colombia. Not just Medellin.
Total population of Colombia.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say.
Yeah, we'll see what you guys say.
But anyway, go ahead. You said learn Spanish. Step number one. But then you learn Spanish. All right, I'm speaking Spanish. Where do I go to meet the people?
Right. So the other big thing is stay out of the tourist trap areas. You know, like Parquelleras, Provenza are cool to go to, especially if you're going out with friends. You're going on, you know, you want to go clubbing or you maybe want to watch a DJ or something. That's going to be around here probably. But you don't want to hang out here all of the time because you're just going to run into people that speak English. So go into some of the neighborhoods that don't speak English, which is basically the other 95% of Medellin, except for this little part over here that where most people go, you know, for their first time when they're tourists here. And then again, like AK said, join groups, man. When I first got here, I played basketball. I became a teacher. I became a volunteer.
That's why I met you in playing basketball.
And volunteering. Yeah,
but
literally.
first at basketball.
Basketball, volunteering, doing sports.
Now none of us play basketball.
Now we don't play basketball. Now I play paddle. I play paddle and go to the gym. But I do plan, because you put this into my head the other day, joining the country club.
Great
so I think
idea.
I'm going to join the country club next year.
Me too.
And I'm going to pick up golf because I used to play golf when I was in the States, and I haven't played for like 15 years.
That's good for networking.
Yeah, it's good for networking, and it also is a crazy sport.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got some answers on what percentage of Colombians speak English in all of Colombia. Okay. Jason says 1%. Daniel says 5%. Canny says 10%.
Okay. The closest answer, which might actually be correct right now, is Daniel. He said 5%.
It is 5%.
When I looked it up, you know, a couple of years ago, it was 4%.
Yeah.
So 5%. That's correct.
Yep. Well, 5% in all of Colombia.
Yabba Dabba Doo said 25%, which is what
that's like the United States. 25% of the population speaks English.
Exactly.
The rest speak different languages.
Matthew Thomas, which country club did you try and join? There's a couple around town.
Yeah.
The one in Medellin called Rodeo. Anyone can join, because I got a few mates who are not Colombian citizens and they are members.
Yeah.
That one's about $3,000 joining fee, and about $500, $600 a month. Which is pretty good.
They had a special where it was $400 a month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
I just
so you got to wait for those specials.
Yeah, so you wait for the specials, but you do have to. So it's like a total of $6,000, give or take, for the entire year.
Yeah.
And then after that, the second year would be a little less because you're not paying the joining fee.
Okay. And the Campestre one.
That one's expensive.
That one to join is $78,000.
And you need a sponsor.
Yeah, you need a sponsor.
Someone
did you hear that
goes
number?
there. Yeah, $78,000
USD.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna pay $75,000.
USD, 78,000. I have a mate, one of our guys, 78,000. One of our friends, you know him. I don't know if I can say his name, but he's a developer.
Oh yeah.
He joined it with his family, $78,000.
Oh, but the whole family joined?
Whole family.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not.
It's not
good, but it's very expensive.
And on top of that, you got to pay monthly dues every month, which is a lot as well.
That is so expensive.
But that's the top level networking you get. I drive past there a lot, and just Mercedes and all the stuff going in. But a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like the car park's always full. Like how the fuck these so many people have $78,000 just sitting around to spend on a country club.
Or maybe they're just family members of people that have joined.
Oh, like,
so
could be.
there's probably like grandkids that are
Maybe we'll get
now
there one
older.
day.
Yeah, maybe a grandfather will adopt me. All right, next question, guys. Well, let's say hi to Matthew. What's up, Matthew? I tried to join the country club, but they don't take non-citizens. Yes, they straight up told you.
Yeah,
and
Campestre might be.
Campestre, that sounds like a Campestre thing, but El Rodeo, that's where I'm going to join next year. I think that'll be it'll be fun. I'll just spend like my whole day there because
you can take guests too. So any of our real estate clients after closing, you can take them for a round of golf.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably get hammered though. 18 holes.
Yeah.
Drinking the whole time. That's all I remember about golf was just drinking. Maybe I'll take it more seriously.
They're gonna boot you
now.
out of the country club.
Now that I'm a dad, I don't drink as much, so maybe I'll take it more seriously. Okay, next question. We'll skip this one.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
go
the
to,
same thing.
Yeah. Okay, this is a very good one for us and for any of you that live here or even don't live here but can answer this question: is how do you keep a healthy work-life balance when Medellin feels like a permanent vacation mode?
Yeah, I've heard this from a lot of people. They say, I just can't work here. There's too many distractions. There's too many things to do. So I'm very unproductive when I come here. So I don't know. What do you think?
I've heard the opposite, actually.
Yeah?
I've heard the opposite from people that come down here and they stay longer term. They say that they can get into a routine.
Okay.
You know, it's a livable city because you can live in neighborhoods where you're walking every day. You can go to cafes or co-working spots. There's a lot of co-working spots now.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Even in Laureles, where there was only like one before.
So I've been going lately to El Centro. And there's like heaps of co-working spots.
Why are you going downtown?
Just a mate of mine, he loves like just trying out new restaurants. So we co-work together every week.
Okay.
And he's like, look at this one, look at this one. I'm like, where the hell are they? They're all in like Ciudad del Rio and further towards like downtown.
Okay.
But they're like, it's getting like kind of hipster over there.
I love
like kind
that.
of like a Brooklyn style.
Yeah, that's what happened in downtown LA. It got gentrified and it became expensive to live in downtown LA.
I don't know about gentrification because I'd never see any foreigners in there. It's just Colombians.
No, meaning like it makes it nicer, but even for like Colombians that used to live there, there's newer Colombians or younger guys that are, not just foreigners. So I mean, that would be a good thing for downtown.
Yeah. It's a nice, some
I
great
love
places.
downtown. I lived there for a
area
long
of
time.
downtown called La Candelaria. That has a lot of great, it's like a warehouse kind of industrial area, but a lot of cool cafes and co-works.
Yeah, you guys should go co-work, and maybe I'll join you guys. The EPM Library. Have you been there?
No.
Oh, in downtown, at Parque Las Luces.
Okay.
Alpujarra Station.
It's nice.
Has a big library by EPM.
Yep.
So it's very nice, very big, very quiet. Has a little cafe in it.
Cool.
And it's cool to co-work there.
Yeah, I like trying out new spots.
You can walk there from the metro station. It's really cool. So
I'll Google it.
So how do you keep a healthy work-life balance when Medellin feels like you're in constant party mode? Well, it's like what we just said, in my opinion, is having a routine. For us, we don't really have a work-life balance. Our work is our life. There's not one day that we don't talk, and we don't talk with our team, and we don't, there's not one day that we don't do something work-related. Even on a Sunday or holidays, we're always on it because we're entrepreneurs, and we like doing this. This is our life, so that is our balance. And I think it's going pretty well.
Really well. Yeah, I love it. Like even days when it's kind of quiet, I'm like, shit, I'm bored now.
Yeah, quick update on Medellin Living Real Estate Company. It has grown.
Yeah, like it's going crazy.
Yeah, it's
even
kind
in
of
the last
crazy.
couple of months. You said that you talked to other colleagues and they said they're all, asking us, do you have clients? Can you send like?
Yeah, this is low season for most people.
But we've just been chopping it up.
Yeah.
Endlessly.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It's low season for most people, but since we do marketing like all the time, that's
as we see, we're streaming on like 200 different platforms.
We're not on Instagram, but we're gonna figure that one out.
Yeah.
We'll maybe have like a phone hanging over here for the next one. But the work-life balance thing is really easy to maintain as long as you don't go overboard with alcohol and drugs. That's what really hurts people. Oh, and women. And women.
Yeah.
Then Charlie Munger said that.
Who's Charlie Munger?
He's Charlie Munger was the Warren Buffett's right-hand man.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
an investor.
He was a woman monger?
No. He said that's like everyone's Achilles heels. Alcohol,
drugs,
and women.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next one. What are the biggest cultural adjustments that take years to understand in Medellin?
I don't think anything takes years to understand. It just takes years to accept. because you understand it pretty quick. But even for me to this day, coming to grips with some of this stuff is just annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the thing is that you have to have patience.
But also, it never affected me when I wasn't working. When I was just going and hanging out, doing whatever, like a tourist or like vacation mode, fine, never had any issues.
Yeah.
But now that we have to work, we see a lot of these issues coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. And the issues are usually, bureaucratic issues that, like in the United States or in Australia and other countries, that you would never have to go through just to do a small application.
Yep.
Or sometimes the government website goes down and we can't get information that we need when we're trying to make a real estate deal happen, which happens sometimes. So yeah, just little things like that. But otherwise, it's pretty easy. Just have to be patient. And again, learning the language is a step into learning the culture and understanding why things happen. And I think that's important.
For everybody watching, maybe they're not going to be running a business here or something, but just living generally. I think one of the biggest frustrations I've seen is that some people like it, some people don't like it, is that how slow everything moves here.
Yeah.
Like in Australia, in the US, it's all like quick, efficient.
Yeah.
Here it's anything but.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be done about it. They're going to keep doing things the way they've always done.
Yeah.
But we just need to take the good with the bad. And if you don't accept it, you're going to be pulling all your hair out.
Right. Agreed. Someone said here, I'm thinking about moving to Ciudad del Rio, but it seems like there's construction everywhere.
There is.
Are there sections with less construction noise that are already built up there? No, because it's so small.
And it's new.
It's a new part of the city.
A residential area with a lot of stuff coming up. Before, it was just like a medical kind of area, a business area, but now there's tower after tower after tower after tower.
Yeah.
So, no, there's nowhere quiet. Not
yet. Yeah. There's Ciudad del Rio is just going to be perpetually noisy, even without the construction, because it's like a little mini, I don't know, like Times Square, Manhattan in there.
Yeah.
Because there's so many buildings that are cramped into there,
and so many people, because that's like a business district of people going there all the time. So
yeah.
But it's one of the few areas of Poblado that's actually dead flat. There's no hill there.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love it.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of new restaurants and cafes there, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Which
so that's
I like.
a bonus. I just moved to a new place and in Poblado, and man, I can't walk anywhere. It's like hills after hills after hills.
But in Santa Maria?
No, I mean like close to Campestre.
Oh, Campestre.
But it's like hills and hills and hills and hills. But it doesn't bother me because I just take Uber anyway.
Yeah,
but for someone who wanted to walk, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. So now I've been walking a lot lately, and I'll take an Uber if I need to go, like, let's say, see a property up in the hills, but then I'll walk back down.
Okay.
And that's usually pretty good.
That's the fitness.
Yeah. Someone else said, when you're with your spouse, do you tend to notice or look at other women? Yes. What's the strategies that you use to prevent conflict? Someone said, use sunglasses, bro.
That's an odd question. I don't even know how to answer that.
My answer is yes, I do that, but that's why I have
You don't even have a spouse.
That's why I don't have a spouse. I'm just free to look. No, but I think what happens in Colombia is that you get jaded to beauty. Like, you see it so much that, and I've noticed it with my local Colombian friends too, that literally the gym is ridiculous. You go to the gym and you'll see like the foreigners that are going, because I go to the gym on Calle 10, which is a lot of foreigners go there. It's mostly Colombians, but you'll see foreigners in there, and they're like eyeballs are popping out when the girls are walking by, and then all of us other Colombian guys, we're just like, it's just another woman,
another day,
another girl here. So yeah, you kind of get jaded. So I think it's just being around it so much that you just like, you notice it when you leave, man. Yeah. You're like, holy cow, the rest of the world is just a bunch of trolls.
You reminded me of this cartoon. I don't know who it is, but it's like some wolf, and he's eyes are popping, coming out of the thing.
Okay, so yeah, wear sunglasses. Get used to
sunglasses. You can wear sunglasses in the gym now, because you know those Ray-Ban ones, which are like got music and shit.
Oh yeah.
So you can wear it and listen to music.
Oh, those are
they're
cool.
Meta glasses.
Oh yeah.
But they're like $800. So
yeah, you might not want to take them to the gym. I'd probably leave it in a locker or something. Okay, so anyone, Brun Mac.
That was an odd question, by the way.
Brun Mac asks, anyone you would recommend to assist, consult, or on hotel investment in Colombia? Or what is a good place to look for someone like that? I'm interested in hotel investments. That's a good question.
You've got a couple hotels, don't you? Like buying the whole hotel, or like a hotel suite?
Yeah, we've got 2 hotels for sale right now. And I can get you, in network, or at least meet with a couple of guys that have bought hotels here. I've got 2 friends that own hotels here. And if you want, all you got to do is fill out the form or email me at MedellinBuzzAndrew@gmail.com.
It's this big form which is in black. I don't know if it's on black for them, but for us, it's huge.
It's in the pinned
comment.
comment. Yeah. Well, if you're looking to buy, whether it's an apartment or hotel, any type of real estate, click on that link right there. It's also in the description. Fill out the form, or you can email me directly at MedellinBuzzAndrew@gmail.com.
This is a good question. Do you do much business in Sabaneta, and do you recommend it for an American? What do you think?
Sabaneta is great. Yeah, we just have he became a friend because I met him up for lunch. Darrow.
Yep.
Darrow. He's from Ireland. He bought an apartment.
That's
in
how you say
Sabaneta.
his name?
That's how I say it.
Like Daryl?
Yeah. Well, how would you say it? Dara?
No idea, mate.
Dara.
No idea.
Dara.
Those Irish
Dara.
pronunciations are crazy.
Darrow. I just said Darrow and he said hi.
Okay, so he just accepted it.
Yeah, he accepted my pronunciation.
That's what he is now.
Yeah. So
Anyway, Daryl is in Sabaneta.
Yeah, he bought a 1-bedroom in Sabaneta and he put it up as a rental and it's doing amazing and he wants to buy more.
Okay. Would you recommend it for an American?
Yes, I would recommend it for anybody. Yeah.
As long as you speak Spanish.
Well, I mean, I think if that should be your goal if you're coming to live in Medellin. That would be a really good way to get to know Spanish is living in Sabaneta.
But disclaimer, like if you're thinking that you can go there and be like Provenza where everyone's kind of got a bit of English, then no.
Yeah, if you want like a sports bar near you, walking distance now, Sabaneta, you'll go to the little corner store and watch the soccer game with the locals, which is also very fun, but they're not going to have like NFL.
Yeah, and to answer the other question, do we do much business in Sabaneta? No, we actually don't do any business in Sabaneta.
Mostly Envigado.
We've sold what, like 30 something, maybe almost 30 this year. Zero in Sabaneta.
Zero in Sabaneta.
No one's looking really there. Maybe Darrow might be the next first
I think
one.
Darrow is. So we don't have anything direct in Sabaneta.
We have a few, but no one's bought it. So.
Yeah, nobody's bought those yet.
Too far away for most people, I guess.
Yeah, another thing that I don't understand at the gym.
Reap the wings.
Oh yeah, the he's talking about that people don't put back the weights in order in the Smart Fit. Yeah, it's one of those things that you just get used to here. When you go to the gym and people use weights and then they just leave them.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, did your mom not teach you to pick up after yourself? It's like really, it's that fundamental. But they do it all the time here to the point where I just don't care. I'll literally pick them up and put them back myself, and then. I think some people have caught on to the gym.
Or just make
culture.
your own gym like me at home.
Oh, you got your own gym at home? Nice. Awesome. I am in Sabaneta, Colombia now. It's sweet to be in Colombia and watching. You all helped me get here with information. Sabaneta is safe and charming. Yeah, I love Sabaneta. See, if I didn't have this business, the Medellin Living real estate company where most of our business is in El Poblado, some in Laureles, some in Envigado, I would live in Envigado. Or maybe even Sabaneta, but in Envigado is like my favorite. I really love that area. I love the Buena Mesa area, but it's just too far for me. And it's kind of a bottleneck to get in and out. So I love living in Patio Bonito. I have no qualms with this place.
Qualms, good word.
Do you guys have any recommendations for cleaners?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm just getting one this week from Hogaru.
Hogaru, yeah.
Hogaru.
H-O-G-A-R-U.
Yeah, it's a service, and then you just book in there how many days you want a week, and then you can do it all online, and they send someone.
Yeah, that's the one that we use.
I think it was about $35 a session.
Yeah, so
and that's 7 hours, and they come cooking, cleaning, ironing, washing, everything.
Yeah, so just look up Hogaru.
You use that one too?
Yeah, I use Hogaru. Well, we found our cleaning lady that is like a superstar on there.
Okay.
And then she got laid off.
Okay.
And she messaged us. She's like, "Hey, I got laid off." And we're like, "Well, we'll just hire you directly. You're an amazing. We wouldn't want to lose you. So we pay her as a salaried employee, but when she's not available, we'll use the app and you can literally book the night before.
Yeah.
And someone will come the next day.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
Cool.
I love it. Okay. When are you looking at a property? When you're looking at a property and it states that it's zoned for short-term rentals, is there a way to confirm that?
Yes, you need to get the document called the Certificado de Tradición y Libertad, throw it into ChatGPT, and ask it. Because it's all going to be in Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, it's many lines, and it will tell you what it's zoned for, what it's used for, and then you'll know.
Yeah, and that costs like $4 on the government website to get the Certificado de Tradición y Libertad, which is basically the ownership history of the property, but it also has some additional information.
The use of the building.
The use of the building, whether it's zoned commercial, residential, and then to get the actual, the real information, you'll need the Propiedad Horizontal, which is like the building rules.
Yep. It's kind of a combination of both.
Yeah, so but that's a little bit harder to get. The other one is public record. You could get it through a government website called, and the certificate or the document is called Certificado de Tradición y Libertad. You look that up, and you'll get all the information that you need to start your due diligence.
Yep, you'll need the registration number of the property though.
Right, which is like deed. The ID number of the property. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's on the deed. And usually that's a really good question, by the way. Whoever asked that. Brun. Thank you, Brun. That's a great question, because when we are negotiating a property, let's say we go look at a property and we don't know the owner. Before we even make an offer, I ask for the Certificado de Tradición y Libertad. I'm like, hey, we're thinking about making an offer. We really like this apartment. Our client loves it. Can you send us over the certificado? And they're like, oh, we don't have it, or it's not up to date. Okay, just give me the matricula number, the ID number, and I'll download it myself and pay the $4. It doesn't cost much. And then we take that information, because that will also tell us what that previous owner bought it for.
Yeah.
So you kind of have like an ace up your sleeve. You know what they bought it for.
Well,
although, yes, that's
you know what they wrote on the deed that they bought it for.
Yeah. So a lot of people write the number they put an amount on the deed, usually that is lower than what they bought it for, to avoid capital gains taxes, or the previous owner to avoid capital gains. But at least you have a good idea.
Yep.
So it is a good document to get.
But we're going down the rabbit hole a little bit.
Yeah.
So can you get some questions from here?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yusuf said, do you guys know if Norway has tax treaty with Colombia? Thinking from an investor perspective, just wondering. I have no idea, because
tax information treaty? I doubt it.
No, yeah, because I know it has some with some countries, but the best way to figure that out is just contact a lawyer, a tax lawyer, who should know all about that, and they'll let you know. Can you just type in their Restrepo Legal? Yeah. You can Google them on Google, and then just send them a WhatsApp message, and you can speak to Anna, who's become a good friend of mine, great attorney, and she her firm does everything tax related, especially for foreigners.
Okay.
So if you ask her, she'll let you know immediately.
Awesome.
Then we got Kitty Baby. Is it hard to get started in building apartment complexes?
Oh,
I have no idea. Do you?
Well,
sounds difficult.
Based on our friend Francisco's experience, and he is a well-versed builder, constructor in the United States. He came in here.
He's a Colombian.
Number one.
From Bogota.
No Spanish.
Went until he was 15 and then lived in the US. Studied property development. I think he's got MBA, masters, all the degrees. Developed in New York for many, many years. Then came back here and built apartment buildings.
And he had success with hiccups.
Yep.
So even him, with his pedigree that he has, had hiccups. So someone that doesn't know what they're doing, even in the U.S. or anywhere, it's going to be tough.
So to answer your question, depending on your experience, it could be extremely difficult, or it could be moderately difficult.
Moderately difficult, yeah.
Anything but easy.
Construction anywhere is going to be difficult.
It is.
But yeah, we've never constructed a building. We're planning on it. We're making moves. Hopefully by the next year, we'll be building our first building. So if you are interested in investing with us in this new building, also fill out the form that's linked in the description below or in the pinned comment. And we'll get you information on that as it comes, because when you fill out that form, you also join our newsletter, and obviously we'd be blasting that out once we're ready to, venture into that new project.
The next one I'm going to give to you, since you're the king of Airbnb. Could you guys please explain, this from Yusuf again, good questions, Yusuf. Could you guys explain the process of Airbnb in Colombia in terms of cleaning, management? Is it trustable? Would love to one day buy an apartment as an investment, but also a home base. So for anyone that doesn't know, Andrew has, 4 or 5 Airbnbs.
Yeah. And we manage.
And we have property management branch of Medellin Living as well.
Yeah, I think we're up to like 10 apartments now.
Yeah. So you kind of manage that as well right now?
I
With
helped
your dad?
build it.
And,
I helped build it. Now it's kind of self.
Yeah. So you know all about that. Can
Yeah.
you just give us a bit of a rundown about Airbnb in Medellin?
Yeah, so Airbnb in Medellin, number one, to answer your question for cleaning and managing, there are many property management companies here. Some are great, some are not so great, some suck a lot.
Yeah.
And
All the good ones will charge you 15%.
Yeah, the good ones will charge you 15 to 20%, depending on how much marketing or
all
what
the
they
shit
do.
ones will charge you less.
Yeah.
And then you'll get 20% occupancy.
Exactly. So it really comes down to, I mean, really what will safeguard your real estate investment here for in regards to occupancy rate is location.
Yep.
Location, location, location. If you want a rental, and even if you want to live in it for a while, make sure that it is in El Poblado or in the hot spots of Laureles, where it's going to be occupied all the time
by tourists.
Yeah, by tourists. And then your return on investment will depend on how you bought it, right? What price you bought it at, what upgrades you made to it, etc. And then, the last thing that I always tell people is that marketing will be involved. If you don't want to do any marketing, then you have to have a stellar location, amazing pictures, and when someone walks in, it looks exactly like the picture, so that you always get the 5 stars, and you get great customer service, and the platform like Airbnb will automatically push your properties. We've never gotten less than a 5-star review. I know that's I'm gloating. I am because it's hard to do, number one, and I know that there's going to be the day that we're going to get a 4-star review, and I'll cry myself for a week, but until then, the reason why we only get 5-star reviews is because of customer service. Something goes wrong, we're there in an instant. Like this thing's on every single day. I'm never not connected. Same with my team. We're always connected. We always have someone vigilant. So you want to hire a property management company that will do that for you, that will take care of the cleaning stuff. And you want to vet them. Ask them, hey, do you have any referrals? Any owners that I can talk to ask what their experience has been like with you. And because some of them might not even have a handyman, and you might have to go find it yourself, and that would be horrible.
Yeah.
To answer your question, that's how Medellin Airbnb property management is like.
You've never got less than a 5-star review?
No.
What's our business called?
5-star hosts. That's the property management company. 5-star hosts.
I like that.
I know. And then when it goes to like 4.8, it would be 4.8 hosts.
All right. We have another question here. He says, hey guys, no, hang on, not that one. What's the best way to go about applying for a 1-year visa? And now, since you're the Irish whisperer, this guy's Irish as well. Can you pronounce that name, dude? This one here. Good luck.
Olsen? Okambi?
It's not Olsen, it's an I. Oisin.
Oh, Osen. Osen? Is it
I don't
Osen?
think so.
Oisen.
Hey,
Oisen?
Can you phonetically pronounce it?
What's
terrible.
the best way to go about applying for a 1-year
I know
visa?
it's not
You're the
Oisen.
visa guy.
I'm the visa man.
Yeah.
The best way is to get married.
So that's the best, meaning like the fastest, less
fastest
complicated?
and best way. So I got married. I got immediately 3-year visa.
Wow. Okay.
And after the 3, I don't even have to renew. After the 3 years, they give me residency. See you later.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Like, it might be the worst attempt ever.
Oisin.
How the hell am I supposed to know that?
I told you you're going to get it wrong.
Oisin.
Irish names are something else, dude.
Oisin. Okay, so get married, Oisin. Okay, what would be the second best?
Second best, real estate investing. So right now, if you invest above about 180K, in 5 years you can get residency. Next year that figure is going up 200K because it follows the minimum investment. It follows the Colombian minimum wage, and every year that goes up about 10%. So you invest that, then you get it first for a year. Then they can renew it for up to 3 years.
Okay.
So you need to accumulate 5 years to get residency. So you probably have to renew it, anywhere between probably 3 times in that 5 years, and then you can get residency.
Right.
Really, really good.
Okay.
So that is for people. That's for the migrant visas. These type of visas, once you accumulate a certain amount of time, you can stay here and be a resident.
Okay.
Another really good one for old people and for military veterans, I guess, is a retirement visa. You can show like a pension, you can get the same thing. I think it's after 3 or 5 years of having those visas, you can have residency. Really good too.
Yeah.
For those people who don't have any of those requisites, woman, money to buy an apartment or pension, you have to go with another type of visa. They're actually classified as tourist visas because as long as you have them, you even have them, many, many years, they don't add up to residency. So you have to keep renewing and renewing. So those are the most popular one, digital nomad visa. Digital nomad visa, you just have to show that you have income of something, I think it's above $1,000 last I checked. And then you get the visa for a year. You can stay in the country, but you have to renew it every single year.
Yeah, and it doesn't go towards residency.
Doesn't go towards residency.
It's kind of like a tourist thing. Like if you're
Kind
going
of like
to be,
a,
well, that's what it is. It's nomad.
If
They're
you're
going
just
to be
coming
leaving.
here and you don't really know how long you're going to stay, but you want to stay a year or a couple of years, it's a good one.
Yeah.
But if you want to transition, you better figure out one of the other options.
Joe asks, can you recommend an immigration attorney for retirement visa?
Retirement visa? Yeah, I can.
Ooh.
Nexo Legal.
Nexo.legal. Go ahead. Instead of .com, it's .legal. I put it there in the chat.
Yep.
Look them up. They're great.
They did my visa.
They're kind of like a full service firm as well.
They have everything.
They do all type of law.
Accounting. They do my taxes. They do my visa. They do my lawsuit. They do everything.
Wow. Okay. Your lawsuit. Okay, great. So let's keep going on some of these questions. I guess we'll continue asking you guys, and then we're going to go into the real estate aspect of it. What time is it? Oh, it's only 7:30.
Okay.
We
Nice.
started early.
Yeah.
So we'll answer a few more questions here.
Scroll down on that one. Make
Let's
sure
see.
there's nothing
Yeah.
else. Oh, here's a good one. No, that's not a good one. How
do you avoid scams when buying a property? That's a good one.
have a good lawyer.
Have a good lawyer.
That's basically
And
it.
have a good real estate agent.
Yeah.
Work with Medellin Living, number one.
Work with us, but without tooting our own horn, I would say really have a good lawyer who speaks English, who can explain everything to you line by line. What are you actually signing?
Yeah.
Because we have the story I told you about. You told me about it originally because we have a guy in the volunteering class who's actually suing someone now, an agency who tried to bury in the contract an extra commission.
Right. Yeah, because you guys
If you
should
don't know.
you should know that when you buy an apartment in Medellin, the seller of the apartment pays the real estate commissions.
Yep.
So, for example, you fill out our form, you're looking to buy an apartment, you don't pay us anything.
Nope.
I guess kind of you do, but you're not paying us anything.
Yeah.
Your sales, the sales price will cover the commission, and the owner of the property will have to pay us.
I think you explained that in a kind of
So
confusing
the
way.
seller pays commissions.
You don't pay anything. The seller gets his money and then pays us 3% of that.
Yeah,
So
so-
buyer never pays anything ever, full stop, right?
Right, exactly.
But there is this agency that has been burying an extra 3% in the
As a buyer's
commission. And this guy that we know, I guess he didn't have a good lawyer because he signed and now he's fucked because he has to pay extra. But I met another client yesterday and they're still doing this agency.
Yeah.
And they actually caught it and they said, because they used our lawyer that we recommended.
Right.
She's like, what is this 3%? And they're like, no, they backed out. So have a good lawyer. It's
Have
going to
a good
help
lawyer.
you not get scammed.
Yeah, have a lawyer that has worked with other expats or foreigners, because local lawyers might not even know that.
No,
They
and
might-
watch out because in the US and Australia, it's very difficult to become a lawyer. Many, many years of study. And if you see someone's a lawyer, you're like, well, this guy's really, or girl is really switched on.
Yeah.
Here, almost everyone's a lawyer.
Yeah.
So it must not be difficult because the education is different. But remember the other client we had who found a lawyer online or something, and the lawyer was talking him out of the deal because he was trying to sell property at the same time.
Yeah.
You get all these kind of clown
Yeah,
show
you
stuff.
get a lot of weird stuff that
Yeah.
happens. So yeah, make sure that you get a proper lawyer and a proper agent to help you to do that.
Exactly.
George Hill, thank you so much. George Gill, thank you so much for the $20 donation. He says, I'm going to Medellin in June for stem cell treatment. Would love to meet up. Yes. I've got two friends, one that owns Phoenix Stem Cell and one that owns Colombia Stem Cell. So yeah, hit me up when you're down here. Let us know which one you're using too. There's a few new clinics out here. Phoenix, I know that we have a client that bought an apartment with us that went through there, and I met the owner working at a imagine how crazy this world is. I'm literally working at a cafe, and the owner of Phoenix Stem Cells right next to me.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, you're him? Like, yeah. And I've known him for years.
Okay.
It's weird.
Awesome.
But I didn't know he owned it. So that, and then Colombia Stem Cell also is great. So make sure to reach out to them.
Awesome. Should we get cracking with some of these questions? I think we've answered everything here.
Yeah. Should we move on to the money, residency, and lifestyle setup?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good question that someone asked in one of the Facebook groups, and I thought it was a really smart question to ask. What are the real costs, or what is the difference between middle class Colombia, or living a middle class Colombian lifestyle as a foreigner here, to an upper class Colombian lifestyle here? It's pretty big. The people that can go to Campestre are very different than the people that go to Rodeo. Which are very, very different to the people that go to Smart Fit and Body Tech and Athletic.
Would you call people going to Rodeo Country Club 600 US a month middle class? I don't think so.
No, that's upper class.
That's
upper class, but that's not even the high upper class.
No, that's like
that's like upper class people that maybe doctors that have been working for a long time, maybe entrepreneurs as well that can afford that. But not the regular Colombian would afford that ever.
So what do you think? Let's break this down. What's the real cost monthly of maintaining a middle class lifestyle here?
A middle class Colombian lifestyle?
Yeah.
I would say, let's say a joint, let's say a husband and a wife.
Just talk
income.
single, because we're mostly
or single. Okay,
people who are
single.
On this,
let's just talk in dollars as well.
Yeah.
Middle class, I think you could do that with $2,500 a month. $2,500 a month if you're renting an apartment that is unfurnished through the local routes at, let's say, $500 a month in Laureles, in Belén,
so
in Envigado.
You're renting for $500 a month, but you're spending $2,500. What's the other $2,000 on?
$2,000 for food, gym, stuff that you got to do. Maybe if you have a car, maybe a car payment. And I'm talking about like Colombian families. They usually all have cars, so they have a car payment. So they're probably making between $2,000 and $2,500. If you don't have a car, then you're saving a bunch and you're just walking around.
So about $2,000 to $2,500.
I would say that's a good starting point for like a good middle class neighborhood.
And what about upper middle class?
Upper middle class, you're going up $3,000 to $4,000, and then anything over that is $5,000 plus. Like if you want to live in like a mansion somewhere, you need to be making more than $5,000 a month.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty easy to break down.
All right. Next one.
Okay, next one. We could skip this one. This is a good one, because we get this question for when people want to buy a property out here or buy a car or whatever it is. How do you deal with banking frustrations, like transferring money from your home country over to Colombia, using credit cards maybe even to fund stuff here? What is the best way to do this?
Dealing with the frustrations of the bank. Sometimes you can't do anything, man. Like,
well, if you don't have a local ID, you're probably not going to be able to open a bank
so
account.
Firstly, even opening the bank account is very difficult. But then some things happen, like about 2 weeks ago, all the banks, like everywhere, like Bancolombia is the biggest one, but Bancolombia was just transfers were down.
Yeah,
for
the whole site was down
Couldn't
for the
pay
whole
anything.
day.
Couldn't pay anything.
Yeah, like literally taxi drivers were going home and not working that day. Like people weren't working
and what can you
on
do
this
about
day
it?
when the bank just fell. Who do you complain to? Nobody. Nobody's going to do anything.
You can't do nothing about it.
It's just one of those things that in this type of country that you just have to be patient with.
Yeah.
It sucks when that happens, but it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
I've been here 15 years. I don't remember the last time Bancolombia fell like that for a whole day.
Yeah. We have another good question here from Kitty. Said, where would I live if I wanted to be around upper middle class with good nightlife?
With
that's
good
a kind
nightlife.
of a combination.
I love that question.
Yeah. That's you.
Yeah, I love that.
Nightlife, man.
Anywhere in El Poblado. Anywhere in El Poblado that's not right where the nightlife is. I mean, the nightlife is basically like a 5-block radius in Provenza. So you could even live 5 blocks up and you'll be away from the nightlife. 5 blocks to the left, 5 blocks to the right, 5 blocks down. I live 20-minute walk, and it's super residential where I live. It's all flat, walking distance to the metro station, walking distance to cafes, etc. But can you hear anything out there?
No, actually, like, I was concerned about your open window, but no noise.
Yeah, that's why I leave it open because it's like it's hot in here. First of all, and number 2 is like we get zero noise. We don't hear anything from the street or anything like that. So there's a common misconception that people think that El Poblado is Provenza only. But El Poblado has 22 neighborhoods in it, and it spans all the way from basically downtown Medellin to the border of Medellin and Envigado. So it's a huge area. One of my favorite neighborhoods that I would love to live in one day, maybe, or have an apartment in is San Lucas.
Hey,
San Lucas
next
is
to me.
Yeah, San Lucas is a great neighborhood.
Yeah, I've actually lived in San Lucas.
Yeah. Oh, that you
That's
technically live
there,
in?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Great area. But it's basically this question that Kitty asked, where would I live if I wanted to be around upper middle class? Full stop. Without the nightlife, that's over there.
Yeah.
So in that South Poblado, I'm going to call it, probably one of my favorite places.
Yeah,
in the whole
because you're
city.
not walking to Provenza from there.
And I never knew about it before.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't really do that much research on it because we didn't have that many people looking for places there. But weather is cooler. In Laureles, it was steaming all the time.
Yeah.
It was polluted. There was a lot of
noise pollution.
Noise pollution. That area around San Lucas has none of that, right? Yeah. Also, that's the upper middle class. It's right next to Campestre.
Yeah.
It's super green. Views are beautiful. Prices are very affordable as when you compare to closer to Provenza. The only downside, if you like to walk,
is that there's hills.
A lot of hills.
Yeah, a lot of hills. Another great area for you, Kitty, to look into is Los Balsos. Los Balsos is most of that area is close enough to walk to Provenza, but far enough where you might
it's about
could take a
half
Uber.
an hour walk, right?
Yeah, like 20 to 30-minute walk
Yep.
if you wanted to walk to Provenza and the cafes and stuff.
Yep. What
Santa
about
Maria, Los Angeles.
What about Castropol? That's the one that nobody talks
Castropol.
about.
Yeah.
But it's basically 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
From Manila.
From Manila, yeah. Yeah, you can walk down
and
the
it's
hill.
quiet,
Yeah.
residential, really nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Great
places.
views, too,
You just
there.
go, find Calle Diaz, right? Where's the camera? Find Calle Diaz. You guys know that's Street 10, the main street. Just go back 2 blocks north, 2 blocks south. All those neighborhoods, all good.
Yeah, they're all good, and you're not going to get any noise. So
yeah, that's where you are.
Good
Basically
question.
3 blocks south of there.
Of there, yeah.
And
Love
before
it.
you were 2 blocks north of there.
Yeah.
So.
How would you describe El Tesoro?
El Tesoro.
That's
is a
definitely
very upper class area.
Upper class area.
It's got hills for days.
But the buildings there are a lot of new ones.
Yep.
A lot of amazing ones. My
Nice one.
favorite place in El Tesoro is along Amsterdam Plaza.
Yep.
The neighborhoods around Amsterdam Plaza.
Which is a shopping mall.
It's a big shopping mall with a lot of restaurants, etc. But it's a flat area of the hills
Yep.
where you can walk, parallel.
Yeah.
And you can walk all the way to El Tesoro if you wanted to. And El Tesoro is a great mall.
Yeah.
For co-working, they've got a Pergamino in there.
Really
They've got
nice
a bunch of
area.
other cafes.
But hilly.
But yeah, so if you want to go anywhere else there, you're probably taking an Uber.
Yep.
But a lot of people want to live there because of the lifestyle.
Yep.
Because it's upper class, it's beautiful. You're surrounded by greenery.
Yeah.
Nice amenities in these buildings. Walking distance to Amsterdam Plaza and El Tesoro. And if you wanted to walk down the hill, you could walk down the hill. Probably not walking back up the hill.
No.
But Ubers are so cheap here that it doesn't matter.
I was going to say, probably everybody knows about the prices of Ubers here.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, the reason we keep talking about Uber is you could walk 20 minutes somewhere or you could just take an Uber, which is $2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally hate walking, right?
I love walking.
I think
You
it's
hate
so
walking?
boring. It's one of the most boring things I've
Bro,
ever done.
I just throw on
But you use it for exercise, but I play tennis 5-6 times a week.
So
I don't need no more
extra,
exercise.
yeah.
And it just irritates me because it's slower than just taking an Uber.
Yeah.
So I take Uber everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cheap.
Yeah.
Every single day I take it back, forth, and pay my Uber bills maybe $150 a month.
Yeah, it's really
Whereas
cheap
in
here.
Australia, I would go from my parents' house half an hour to the city. It's $120.
Oh, yeah. There goes your whole budget
Yeah,
for the
whole
month.
budget gone, yeah.
Yeah, great. So Tesoro, awesome. The con, hills.
Yep.
And also traffic at peak hours because the streets there are very narrow. So traffic gets horrible. I was stuck in traffic today when I went to go up to
film
video
the
that apartment.
in Loma del Indio.
No, well, that was one. And then the other one
Okay.
up above Provenza,
Yeah.
Los Balsos, also bottlenecks.
Okay.
It's not good for driving, but if you're an Uber, it doesn't matter.
You feel like you're back home in LA?
Yeah. No, LA is worse. For sure.
That is one of the
Yeah.
worst. Oh my god. We got squishy plums, Dono. $5.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
buddy. Squishy plums. Used to watch us on every single live.
Yeah. Diego says, is it true that that to really learn about Medellin, it's best to watch YouTube channels Medellin Unfiltered and Rob Lafon? I love Rob Lafon's channel. I watch his
Who's
channel. all the-
Medellin Unfiltered?
I don't know what Medellin
Never heard of it.
Unfiltered is, but I think you should watch whatever you want to watch.
Yeah. Because everybody, look,
has
at the
a
end of the
different
day,
experience.
at the end of the day, everyone's basically saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But they're saying it in a different way. So whoever you like listening to, whoever connects with you, watch them.
Yeah, like I watch so much YouTube for the things that I like, and there's different perspectives, different experiences. Even between me and AK, our experience of living here is completely different to one another. So you'll learn from everybody. So I definitely recommend watching either one of those. But I do know Rob LaFon; he's awesome.
Yeah. Canny for Life said, AK, now you're in Poblado. Does the noise bother you? I specifically bought a property where there is no noise at all.
Yeah.
I live next to a creek, and that's all I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I have a little co-working spot that I put on the balcony, and the creek's just there. Beautiful view, just treetops.
Yeah.
No noise. Where I lived before in Laureles, and this is the reason I moved. I like Laureles a lot. I think it's a great area for people. But just in my street, where I lived, they made 4 new towers. So I was surrounded by construction. Yeah. So I was like, I can't take this anymore. Too much noise. And I was next to a main road where it was just like 24/7 noise. I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
So.
The motorcycles. Okay, so let's continue down this list here.
Okay. You got no more questions here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If I scroll
we're
up
good.
Now. I think we're good. Yeah, we caught up.
No,
good.
We're good. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's go to real estate questions.
Okay.
Big question that we get a lot, and we not only do we get this question a lot, but we also hear it from people that are on Facebook groups, etc. Is, are we hitting a saturation point with short-term rentals in Medellin? In your opinion?
I don't know how, the question, saturation point?
Like, is there too many?
No, because if there's nothing for sale.
Okay, so that answers that question. No,
there's
we're
not
not
too many.
saturated.
What's the opposite of saturation? Dehydration?
Yeah.
That's where we are. Dehydration.
Yeah, there's not enough. Everybody wants to buy a short-term rental, but there aren't enough.
Do you know why that is?
Yes.
Because the people who are holding them are making so much money they don't want to sell.
They don't want to sell. Well, that's number one.
That's number one.
And number two is that there's so little of them.
Yes, so little of them.
Because most of 95% of all of the apartments or buildings in Medellin are zoned residential.
Yep.
In order to do short-term or what we call daily rental,
yep.
It has to be.
Let's clarify that first.
Yeah.
Short-term means under 30 days, and then anything above that is
long-term.
Long-term, yeah.
So anything that has a daily rental, short-term rental, has to be zoned commercial. And obviously, for example, these buildings where we live and all of, I think there's maybe like 3 short-term rental buildings in all of my neighborhood.
Yep.
And it's because, in order to rezone, let's say, a building that is residential into commercial, you have to get 75% of all the homeowners to vote on it and rezone it, and it's going to add added fees to all of the homeowners. So, if you're living here, why the heck do I want to rezone it?
And there's, especially in the last couple of years, there's big negative publicity about short-term rentals.
Yeah.
And, troublesome tourists. So I guarantee, like this building, you have all Colombian families and stuff here.
Yeah.
Guarantee 70% of them are not going to vote to have all these crazy tourists around their kids and in the, apartment.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to get it passed in buildings which are residential. There's limited space. That's another thing. You have done a lot of study about this. There's limited space in the city to actually build new buildings. So all of this means that there's very low supply of these short-term rentals. There's high demand because basically everybody that comes to us, like 80% are like, I want short-term rentals, but I want to spend like 150 grand. Yeah. I'm like, well, you need to spend double that.
Or go buy a hotel room.
Or go buy, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. What about the research that you've done about land scarcity?
So Colombia as a whole, and Medellin particularly, is at a construction deficit. We're at an apartment deficit because of the pandemic. The pandemic slowed everything down for 2 to 3 years, where construction basically stood still. And then once it started again, developers started developing in places where they're going to make the most money, like El Poblado, Las Palmas, some areas of Laureles, but not even that much. So there's been a scarcity, and demand has risen, not only because of tourism, because obviously tourism has played a little bit of a part, but the Colombian population has grown.
Yep.
Add the Venezuelan influx as well, so all of them are working and they need places to live. So there's been a scarcity and there's been a big demand on property, so property value has shot up. Even in Estrato 3 neighborhoods, like the lower working class neighborhoods as well, rents have gone up because of the scarcity. There's no land to build on, so because that's one of the the answers is like, well, why don't we just build more? Well, there's nowhere to build, number one. And in order to build on top of stuff that's already built, you have to make sure that there's infrastructure. And some of these neighborhoods that are lower income, running water is an issue, electricity is an issue, internet's an issue, so infrastructure is an issue. So there's a big study, and there's a great YouTube video in Spanish by La Pulla, Pulla, where they researched this and talked about it to Colombians, because a lot of people were saying gentrification this, gentrification, gringos go home. And then they're like, no, it's not the gringos that are doing this. It's us Colombians that fucked ourselves, and our government didn't subsidize during the pandemic in order for construction companies to continue to build in the areas that need building. And of course, developers are not in the charity game. They're about making money. So that's why you see these great developments, but that are super expensive, that a lower class Colombian or a middle class Colombian is not going to afford. So that's the answer to that. We're not at a saturation level. We are at a level where we are, there's a scarcity.
Dehydration level.
Yeah, there's a scarcity of not only commercial, but residential units. That's why property value is so high, even in the middle class neighborhoods where foreigners don't even go. For example, in my building, I've never seen one foreigner, and there's 150, about 200 apartments in this whole complex. And when I walk around the neighborhood, the only foreigners I see are from the one hostel that are here. So no, it's not tourism that's overcrowding these places. It's the Colombian population have grown.
As well, because all the jobs maybe here too.
Yeah, now there's more jobs here. Medellin has become kind of a little metropolis, and a lot of people come from other cities to work here. And of course, the Venezuelan influx and some of the tourism too has affected some of the neighborhoods like Manila, which is a very good. That's a very good candidate for gentrification. Provenza has been gentrified for years because that's where people go party, etc. But it used to be residential. But yeah, so that's the answer there.
Okay.
Ciudad del Rio is not gentrified. It's basically meeting that demand. There used to be a company, they were like a gas company that owned a bunch of land there, and they had their facility there. They moved them to a small town nearby. And that small town now is being gentrified by the workers of that company that was moved there in order to make room in Ciudad del Rio to build like 4 different towers. So that's the situation in Medellin. And once you know that, you start learning about the market, you can make, smarter moves too.
Okay. Here's another good question. What ROI are serious investors getting today? First of all, let's answer that question.
Yeah, what ROI? What return on investment?
Yeah, this is a really good question because most people have no idea.
Yeah, because a lot of people will watch YouTube channels
from like 5
years ago, even 3 years ago, of people making 20% ROI. And you can still make that. You can still make 20% ROI. It's
going to take a lot of work.
You got to buy something very cheap, gut it,
like
remodel
really,
it.
But something really cheap and really shit.
And yeah, it's got to be like
like falling apart.
Yeah, it's got to be in an old building. It's got to be in a great part of town. And you're going to have to remodel it. So it's kind of like a gem, right? Like finding a diamond in the rough.
Exactly.
But you can find them.
Yes.
We see them all the time, actually.
And then you need
we're going to show a couple, actually.
3 to 6 months renovation on it.
Yeah.
And then you've got to have a good construction crew as well.
And then you have to have good marketing, good management, good property management, etc.
So high 10 out of 10 difficulty, but can be done.
That can be done.
But what if someone that doesn't want 10 out of 10 difficulty, someone that wants turnkey? Let's talk about that, because
that's
most
big
people,
one.
Honestly, out of all the clients we've had, we don't really have them people who's like, let's go. I want to do full remodeling. Give me the construction crew. Let's get this. Not really. And we have a few, and then we tell them, these properties, and they look at them like, maybe not. So most people want to, this is the main situation. Tell me if you agree. From all the leads that we've seen, that I have seen this year, most people are like, hey, I come to Medellin 5-6 times a year. I want to stay there in my apartment, and in the rest of the time, I want to rent it out and at least break even, but also hopefully make some money.
Right.
True?
Yeah, that's usually the case. At most, some of these people are staying 3 months, maybe, sometimes less.
Because they still have jobs and life back in the US, but they like to come and visit. So those type of people, what type of ROI would you expect that they could
break even?
Break even.
If you can break even and live in Medellin for 3 months for free, you're winning.
Yep.
For a turnkey property, a property that has been remodeled, somebody else remodeled it, or maybe you put some touches to it, maybe upgraded the kitchen or some of the bathrooms or whatever, and you rent it out for 7 months out of the year or 8 months out of the year, and you're here for 3 months out of the year, whatever the case is.
Yep, free accommodation.
Yeah, but you're living here for free because those other months are basically paying the apartment for you and paying back your investment. That's a great deal for most of our buyers.
Yeah, and those, for the people that, if they're not staying there, those type of properties will be bringing in about 3 to 5% net ROI.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like much.
Doesn't sound like much.
But those are easy projects. You just buy it, rent it out, done, right?
Yeah.
So,
and you have a place to stay.
And you have a place to stay, yeah. So I'm doing a deal now, about to sign paperwork very soon.
Yeah.
This is the highest ROI I've ever seen of any turnkey project. Between 10 and 15%.
Okay.
Not including appreciation.
Where is that located?
Provenza, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just rental yield. After taking out Airbnb fees, after taking out 15% for a property management company. Because this dude's in the US, he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants to make money.
Yeah.
So 15%, 10 to 15% rental yield. But the catch is the apartment costs $500,000. So it is possible to make this type of 10 to 15% ROI. But you have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And for turnkey, it's not happening under maybe 300K.
Yeah. I would say a really good turnkey apartment ROI would be 7%.
Yep.
That would be
amazing.
That would be awesome because you bought it at a good price.
Yep.
And it's in a great area, and you've got a good property management company.
Yep.
Because your biggest expense is going to be that 15%
15%,
property management fee.
Yeah.
If you manage it yourself, maybe you're living here and renting somewhere and managing it, your ROI is going to go 15% more than what it would have been. But if you're not, then expect 7% or lower. Between 3 to 7%.
3 to 7 is a good range
like
for
the
most
good
people.
range, yeah.
Unless you got big money and want to invest in some of these bigger buildings like Wake, Energy Living, like iconic buildings, but there you're spending 400K upwards.
Yeah, that's a good point. The more you spend, probably the better your return.
Well,
but
definitely the better.
Unless if it's like up in the boonies somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like a lifestyle property.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. How do you vet contractors and avoid scams? You just did a remodel.
I did.
Tell us, how did you avoid getting scammed or losing money through the contract?
My old job was doing construction management.
Yeah.
And basically 90% of my job was writing contracts. So I wrote a very good contract, so I can't get scammed.
Okay.
So once again, if you don't know how to write a contract, get a lawyer. Get a good lawyer who knows about real estate, and then get them to write a contract that protects you. You just got to have all the things in there, like, if any defects, liability, it's going to be, they fix anything to you, and third-party damages for X amount of time after it's finished. What do you do in terms of if they're late on delivery? So I had penalty clauses because I'm buying with interest. So after this date, you pay me all my interest payments.
Yeah.
So all that stuff you got to think about, put it in a contract. If your constructor doesn't want to have a contract, don't work with them. Find someone else, because that's a huge red flag already. So that would be the number one, I would say.
Okay, cool. What are realistic appreciation rates in El Poblado, Laureles versus Envigado?
I think citywide it's about 6 to 10%.
Yeah.
But I've seen like this other apartment that I'm sold recently, $500,000. The owner bought it 2 years ago for $240,000.
Yeah, so it's
100% appreciation over 2 years.
Yeah,
Provenza.
In Provenza, so there are micro economic climates within the city.
Yeah,
like Provenza, Barrio Manila.
Yep.
Where they have like hyperinflation or hyper appreciation.
Yeah.
On prices, but overall, you're looking at about 10% appreciation across the board. It's usually in line with inflation, and inflation in Colombia is usually around 9 to 10%. So appreciation kind of follows that. One of the questions is like, well, don't you lose money on the exchange rate? You might make 10%, but right now the dollar, for example, is at like 3,800.
Yeah.
So those people probably are down under what they got. So what I tell people is like, look, when you're investing in Colombia, this is a decision that you're making to keep your money in Colombia. You're no longer going to take it out of Colombia. So, for example, a lot of the people that will sell a property here, even though they're foreigners, they'll roll it back into another property, like upgrade to a bigger property, or they keep it in the Colombian stock market, Colombian like mutual funds that pay out pretty well. We're talking about like 12% right now.
Yeah.
So they keep it and they roll it into Colombian pesos because they live here, or
There's
they're
another
here a
way to
long
do
time.
it. You get paid in USD.
Or you get paid in
Through
USD.
Airbnb, you can just take USD.
Yeah.
Put your
investment.
price as USD. You don't worry about currency exchange.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. But I'm talking about like the total investment.
Yeah, totally.
Your money in.
Yeah, selling later and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
But I
selling
just mean
later.
like if you buy something, you're getting rent every month. You don't want to be riding the wave of
Yeah.
currency exchange. You just put the price in USD and get paid in USD.
Yeah. Okay. Another good question here for Craig. Craig asks, is there landlord insurance or LLC to protect your assets when renting out your property? That's a good question.
You can get insurance, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get insurance. Well, you have to have insurance, first of all, in order to run an Airbnb, because you're basically running it like a commercial apartment. And you also, for example, if you're doing like month-to-month contracts or monthly contracts, there has to be a contract between you and the renter that also protects you. If you want, you can own a property under a U.S. LLC. For example, your company in the United States can buy a property, or you could transfer the title over to your U.S. LLC. That's another way to protect yourself even more.
Yep.
And or you can establish a Colombian corporation or the LLC version of the Colombian. It's called a SAS, SAS. You can create an entity and transfer the title over to that entity, or a trust if you want. My properties are under my family trust, and I do that for not only liability purposes but also for future safeguarding, investments. So yeah, there's various ways to protect yourself, but yeah, you can get insurance, and you should get insurance, like renter's insurance, not renter's insurance, but liability insurance.
Here's a good question from G Pagan. He said, Andrew, you made a video a while back talking about your cost of living, which was around 2K a month with all the perks, like living like a king for 2K. Maybe you made that video.
Yeah.
What would be the same monthly now? I've heard its prices are going up in Medellin.
$3,000.
Okay, so that's gone up 50%.
$1,000. Yeah,
That's a lot.
$1,000 more. It's about like 2-3 years ago, it was $2,000 a month. I would say $3,000 to be on the safe side. You could still make it happen at $2,000 a month, but you're not living in like this area or higher up in the hills. You're probably living in Belén, parts of Laureles.
Yeah.
Envigado, you could live in there, and really nice lifestyle. So $2,000 a month still buys you a great lifestyle. I'm not. You're not like
not
poor.
living like a king anymore.
Yeah, but that's a kind of a Colombian that makes good money.
Yeah.
$2,000 is 8 million pesos a month.
Yeah.
That's a really
you can live
good
really well
lifestyle for a Colombian.
But not living like a king.
Yeah, not living like a king where you're ordering food every single day and going to restaurants every day, the high-end restaurants.
Yep.
But $3,000 a month, you're closer, yeah, for sure. I think if you really, 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 really want to live like a king, it's $5,000 a month. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Let's move on. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock. Okay, we've got a little bit more time. Let's talk about more real estate questions. Let's see. Anything important here?
Here's a good question.
Okay.
For someone, most people, like the clients that we get, they want to buy something for them to live in. They're single people. They want something, let's call it poblado.
Okay.
2 bedrooms. Maybe they want a bedroom and put a kitchen with a balcony.
Yeah.
What is that going to cost?
Well,
those ones are about 80 to 100 square meters.
Yeah. So usually you can gauge it by price per square meter. And we just learned this through AK's remodel and a couple of our clients' remodels, that it's going to be about between, depending on how high end the remodel is going to be, right?
I'm just talking about buying.
Oh, buying.
Buying, not remodeling.
Okay, okay.
We can talk about remodeling next, because that's a good point.
Question, yeah.
But let's talk about just buying a property that's ready to live in one of these nice areas that we talked about. Good to go.
Like a 2-bedroom.
2-bedroom, nice balcony, maybe
bath.
a view, no amenities, but 2-bath, 900 square foot.
I would say start at $200,000.
Yep.
Start
and
at $200,000.
That's going to shock a lot of people.
Yeah. Because before it was like $150,000.
Yeah, but its price is going up, and I think that's a good thing to talk about, because a lot of people watch these videos, as you said, from 10 years ago.
Or even just 3 years
ago. Even 3 years ago, and they have like unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
So you can buy for 150K nice places, but you got to get out of these areas.
Yeah, or you just have to spend a lot of time investigating and searching for that. You have to be here.
Yeah,
basically.
Or buy something smaller, like I talked about before, like 50 square meter, half the size, maybe 1 bedroom.
Yeah, for example, for us, like, I just bought a 2-bed, or not me, my sister just bought a 2-bedroom, 2-bath here for about $130,000.
But how long did she look?
Barrio Manila. Took her like 2 years.
Yep.
2 years.
Yep.
Until that property went, and when we saw it, and she, 2 years and 3 other apartments that she almost bought.
Yep.
And if she would have bought those, she would have been over the amount that she bought this one for.
Yep.
2 years later, this one came on the market and swooped it up like that because we were first in line.
Yeah.
The guy didn't even put a sign on the window.
But that being said, she spent 2 years looking.
Mm-hmm.
She had a brother who owns a real estate agency.
Yeah. I know the owner.
She has another brother who's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
So it can be done, but very difficult.
It can be done. So, yeah. So, and we, for example, one of the ones that I'm going to show right now is one of those little hidden gems. We're going to show you our 2 best properties that we have.
Yep.
So 4 in total.
Mm-hmm.
And these are little hidden gems that I know with a little TLC, they're going to be worth more in literally next year.
Yeah. Before we get into that, can I jump to a random topic? Because I like this question.
Okay, let's go.
I like the question from Kenny about where do you see the cost of living expenses increasing the most? Food or restaurants? Food, restaurants, what do you think is the biggest increase? Food is going crazy, man. Like when I first came here, I was like, I'm buying anything on Rappi, which is a delivery service like Uber Eats, for about $5. Now it's
like a restaurant on this delivery
now
service.
Food, even any restaurant around Poblado, like 10, 15
so,
bucks.
yes,
like my
restaurants.
Two of my good mates come from Australia, and we were doing the maths. I'm like, how much would this whole, food cost in Australia? They're like 200 Aussie. I'm like, well, here it's 150. So not even that cheap.
There's a new a Korean barbecue place that just opened across the street from me.
How much?
It was like, I took the whole family.
Yep.
And this is the most I've ever spent on the whole family, which is about $250.
So I'm sure
that was a lot. I mean, when I saw the bill, I'm like, oh shit.
I would
argue
get
a lot of frequent flyer miles with this.
I would argue that in some places of the US, you could even find similar priced foods, like a meal for $15, $10, $15. So food has got climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Because rents for commercial have also gone up.
Okay.
So it makes sense that restaurant food has gone up because
and minimum wage is going up 10% every
minimum
year.
wage has gone up.
So just in the last 5 years, it's gone up 50%.
EVA went up to 19%, which is the sales tax. So everything has gotten more expensive for restaurants to operate. So obviously those have gone up. But food at the grocery store is still cheap.
Yep.
I'll literally do I love the Colombian lifestyle of buying food fresh and not buying in bulk. Like in the U.S., you would go to Costco or Price Mart, whatever, and $1,000 for the whole month.
Yeah.
And you have like food full of preservatives and whatever. Here, it's like I go to the local market that comes straight from like the farm, and I buy the food that I need. Like I'll buy 3 tomatoes, which I'm going to use for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'll just go by there again in 2 days. Before, when I first got here, I'm like, that's so inefficient. I hate it. Now I love it. It's like part of my day.
You love looking, so
I'm going to go. I go by the grocery store. I look on my app. I'm like, oh, I need this, that, and the other. Pick it up and come over here and cook fresh.
Yeah.
And that food, the actual groceries are very cheap.
Mm-hmm. I think his main question was like, how has it gone up from 2,000 to 3,000? I think the two main things are food has flown.
Food.
But many other things like
housing, rents.
Rent is the other one. Because I was going to say maybe 4 years ago when I first got here, I rented a place in Milla de Oro, which is a really nice area, in Poblado. Yeah. And it was a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, great big balcony, full amenities like sauna, steam room, pool, basketball court, everything. $1,500 a month. Yeah. Now $1,500 a month in the same area maybe gets you a 1-bedroom or nothing special. Or studio in Manila. Yeah. So rental price has gone crazy. Food price is going crazy, especially in this area. Yeah. Not everywhere, guys, but here in Poblado, prices, almost close to the US in some places. Those are the two. But other things have just stayed the same for a long time.
Like clothing, even like entertainment is still pretty cheap. Like going to the movies.
Yep, all the same.
Pretty cheap. Is
like
still pretty cheap.
Like paying people for things. Like, for example, if you get a Spanish lesson, tennis lesson.
Yeah. Your plumber,
all that stuff is more
lady.
or less the same. But the other thing that's gone really crazy is remodeling cost.
Oh, remodeling costs have gone super high.
When you first talked to me, you told me $300 a square meter for top high-end luxury. Yeah. I spoke to our contractor today because he came to my place. Yeah. And he told me that it's about now 1.5 million. Yeah. What's that? 450 for like mid-range. Yeah. And to get high is going to be about 500 a square meter. So it's gone up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, to reiterate, construction, when you're doing remodeling, high end, it's going to be like $500 plus per square meter. So if you got 100 square meters, $50,000 to gut the place and remodel it high end.
That's another reason why it's so hard to make these 20% ROIs now, because the price of it.
Yeah, so you have to get something that's kind of nicer, but not so nice where it's too expensive.
Exactly.
Carib says that I'm from the Caribbean, and I visited Medellin a few months ago and stayed in El Poblado. I found that the food in El Poblado area, it's about the same price range. The further you go out from Poblado, the cheaper. Yes,
of course.
Restaurants are way cheaper in lower income neighborhoods as opposed to the high end touristy areas. So, I mean, I think you're going to find that anywhere in the world. But yes, a lot of people, when they come here first time,
you ever eaten
they just
food
hang out
in
there.
Rome?
I've never been to Rome.
Oh, crazy price.
Yeah, really? Yeah, well, I couldn't assume.
All the
Rome.
tourist areas are crazy.
Yeah.
Great. Rome, Paris, all these places, near the tourist spots are going to be expensive.
Okay.
Good
question.
Good question. Do you want to look at our properties?
Yeah, let's take a look at our properties. We're going to, let's take a look at yours first.
Okay.
I'm going to change the scene. I'm going to move this over here. And which one's first? That one or that one?
Let's do this one first. The Laurel's one. The other one.
Okay, so let's put that over here.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, guys, our website is called MedellinLivingRealEstate.com. I just forgot our website name. I look at it every single day.
You made the website, dude.
Okay, so, oops.
Screen share?
Screen share. There it is.
Here we go.
Okay, we're on the bottom left. Yep,
nice.
Bottom left, and here is our first property here.
So go up. This property is 675,000 Colombian pesos.
Yeah.
It's 176 at today's exchange rate.
Yeah.
This is
a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
There's more to the story.
Oh, okay.
It's a very interesting property. It's in Laureles, in a quiet neighborhood, a quiet residential area.
Yeah.
But it's like 15, 20-minute walk to Second Park.
Okay, where all the restaurants
and stuff are. And it's 30-minute walk to the main party street, La Setenta. So it's accessible to everything.
Yeah.
But the main draw card of this one is it's 2 apartments in one.
Okay.
Under the same deed. So there's no elevator, but that's not a big concern because only up 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
You get up the top. The apartment at the back is, can we have a look at it? This one.
Yeah.
This is the apartment at the back.
Yeah.
Keep going, next photo. This is the bedroom, next photo.
Okay.
This is the bathroom, next photo. This is the living area, and there's stairs, next photo. No, go back. Yeah, this is the living area.
Okay.
And then there's a terrace. If you keep going back.
Oh, yeah. We saw the terrace.
It has a private terrace, which is big enough for, whatever you want to put there.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's the first apartment.
You could put a jacuzzi up there if you wanted to.
So you'd probably, if I bought this, I'd probably live there in this apartment. And then there's a smaller apartment, which is this one in this photo.
Yeah.
Yep, a smaller apartment with 1 bedroom.
Okay.
And that one, I would rent out. And you can rent
So this is basically
2 units.
2 apartments in one.
In 2 apartments in one.
So this 140 square meters is divided by 2.
Yeah, so the big one is 80
and
the smaller one is 60.
Okay.
1 bedroom. Still pretty good for like a single person digital nomad, but also click it, this one.
Yeah.
This one.
Can I go there? Okay, there we go.
So this is the apartment.
Yeah.
Go next photo.
Yeah.
It has this nice big balcony as well.
Oh, so that other terrace is separate.
Separate.
It's
that's for the apartment that I would live in if I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the rental one.
I got you.
So
got you.
This is the bedroom of the smaller one.
The smaller one.
Yeah, and it's got a nice little thing. Got these nice, beautiful high ceilings. There's the kitchen, so perfect for a rental.
Yeah.
And
you can live in the other one. And they've got separate entrances.
Separate entrances.
Okay.
So it's for someone who can live and invest at the same time.
Yeah, and you can manage your own little rental there.
Yeah, you can do only 30 plus days in this one, which is fine if you want to do self-management.
Yeah.
But I've seen other Airbnbs on the same street,
right,
and they're renting monthly for between $1,000 and $1,500 a month.
Wow.
So this 2 apartments in one for $176,000.
Yeah.
Good.
Is there? Someone asked, is it close to the metro?
Don't know about metro.
No, I don't think there's a they will build a metro line on 80th, and it'll be, maybe like a 30-minute walk to the metro station once that new metro line is open. Yeah. But right now, you're next to, if you look on Google, just look up Segundo Parque.
Yep,
it's
very close
20 minutes to that.
Yeah, 20 minutes just to the south.
So you're still Ubering everywhere, but it's all flat, so you can walk or bike ride or whatever.
You're not Ubering, you can walk there.
You
can walk to Second Park easily. Yeah.
Or getting like one of those stand-up scooters. Yeah. Those are cool.
So this is a nice one, and you can also improve your monthly revenue if you did some, maybe improve the kitchen and put like a dedicated workspace and made some small improvements. But yeah, I like this property a lot.
Yeah, so
especially
this
because
is-
it's very unique. I've never seen that 2-in-1 kind of
Yeah.
thing, and there's no HOA fee.
Oh, there's no HOA.
No HOA. You don't
Okay.
pay any HOA.
Wow.
Cool apartment. What do you think?
I like it. I like it. I like it because you could rent it out.
Yeah.
You could do a lot with this, actually.
Yes.
I love this this terrace
This
right
terrace. Super cool.
here. I would totally redo this and
Yep.
make it like a little barbecue area with a jacuzzi. Put
that
a better
would
pergola.
absolutely jack up the rental
Oh,
price
yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
You could make even more money if you lived in the little one and then
rented
the
out
other
the big one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be super
absolutely.
cool.
Very good opportunity. It's only $176,000 at today's exchange rate.
Yep.
Tomorrow it'll probably go back up and it'll be a little cheaper.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty darn good price.
$675 million. I
Yeah.
really like this one. I think the 2-in-1 is super unique.
Yeah, it's
and a lot of
attractive.
people also looking for top floor unit. It's a top floor unit, by the way, as
Yeah.
you can see.
Yeah, the higher
so
ceilings.
it's the penthouse, as
Yeah.
we could call it. And these high ceilings are really, really in demand because it makes a 60 square meter feel like 100 square meter.
Yeah, I love the high ceilings.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. Okay, we're gonna look at. Oh, what?
It also comes, all the furniture you see in the photos, it comes with fully furnished.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, fucking great price.
Awesome. Okay, so that's a pretty darn good deal. Okay, so let's go to the next property we have here.
Talking about big deals.
Big deals.
This-
Holy cow!
talking
Look at the
about good
price on
deals,
this one.
This is a good deal.
Okay.
But this is a different type of buyer.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one's 176,000.
Okay.
This one's 456,000. But don't look. A lot of people look at the overall value and go overall price and say gringo price.
Oh, it's so expensive.
You got to do some
But
breakdown.
look at the size.
Look at the size. 300 square meters. What's that? Like 200,000 square foot? I don't know about American
no,
numbers.
300 square meters.
Probably 3,500 square foot.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
35.
yeah.
Yeah, let's just call it around 3,500 square feet.
So this
33.
one is literally like 5 minutes walk from Provenza, fully remodeled.
Wow.
Right? And look at this terrace.
Oh, I just did a video of this
Massive.
one today. Oh, this thing is.
Go back to the
amazing.
terrace.
Yeah, look at this terrace, guys.
You are almost never going to find this close to Provenza.
And it wraps around here,
Wraps
by
around.
the way.
This is huge. And if you guys know anything about price per square meter
Wow.
in Provenza, this is an amazing deal. This is
Look at this kitchen.
This is 5.8 million a
Per square meter.
Unheard of.
So 5.8 million per square meter.
That's usually what you're finding for a full gut job reno.
Yeah, look at this bathroom.
Yeah. This is completely done.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Look at the master has. Look at this. This is another balcony, or the extension of the wraparound balcony, by
Yep.
the way. And then this is the other balcony
Yep.
because they have the big terrace, and then they have this
Small
balcony over here, where the other little room actually has. Here's the balcony again. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a huge property. Obviously, this is somewhere you'd probably want to live in.
Yeah.
You could rent it out, but it would have to be monthly. It's not a daily rental. But this is a place where you can live. But obviously, it's a high price, but it's also walking distance to Provenza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
High
was just
price.
there today.
Yeah. What about a rental?
Yeah.
How much you could rent this out per
Is
month?
this area up the hill from Provenza? Yes, it is. Literally, I was there today. I did a video for it, so look out for it on the Medellin Living Real Estate channel on YouTube and also on the Medellin Living channel on Instagram.
Yeah.
It'll be up soon.
Yeah. Give me a
of
take
the walkthrough.
What do you think?
Oh,
this
I
could
would
rent
love
for?
to live in
What do
it.
you think this could rent out for per month?
Oh yeah, you could easily rent this out because look, this has 3 bedrooms, 3.5, and it's completely remodeled, brand new, walking distance from Provenza.
$5,000 a month?
Minimum $5,000 a month. Minimum $5,000 a
5
month.
to 7 maybe?
Maybe. Oh, I don't know about 7.
What
I
if
think
you put a jacuzzi on?
if you had if you built
If you
this
put
out,
a jacuzzi immediately jacks it up like $1,000 a month.
jacuzzi out here, more barbecue
Yeah,
grill.
yeah, just fitted this out a bit.
Yeah, a
Put
stripper
a TV,
pole.
Put a
No.
TV, put a TV there for Sunday football.
Oh man, I would go nuts with
That would
this
be cool.
place. It would be so fun to live there.
Yeah.
But
Good
yeah,
for someone who has a dog as well.
yeah, I would want to live here. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd rent it out because it's just so nice.
Yep.
And the kitchen, look at this kitchen.
Yeah.
Like this inspires you to want to cook and
Yeah.
have friends over.
Do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I love cooking. Yeah,
Nice,
I cook a lot actually.
Awesome. So those are my two properties, two very different ones.
Yeah,
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
very opposite.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay,
you
let's go on
Yeah.
to the next property. This one's in
Oh,
Envigado.
high ceilings as well.
High ceilings. This is the top
What a view,
floor
goddamn.
unit. Yeah. This one's $153,000. It's 146 square
Massive.
meters,
What's the price per square meter?
which is
on that
about
one?
1,500 square feet. What?
Price per square meter.
I
on that
don't
one?
remember what this one is.
I'll do the math,
Yeah,
you
do
keep
the math.
talking.
153 or let's say 154 because it's 153.9.
Yeah, let's do 590.
Yeah.
That is 4 million a square meter.
4 million. So basically $1,000 per square meter, which is unheard of. And take a look at this, bro. This is the terrace area. It has a
Okay.
little terrace / balcony overlooking Envigado. It's
Amazing
walking
view.
distance to the park of Envigado, and also walking distance to Buena Mesa, and walking distance to Viva Envigado. You're like literally in the middle of everything. There's 4 barbershops in the 2 streets that are on that this place is on, which is awesome.
Okay.
One of the barbershops is the first floor. It's a commercial unit or commercial space. First floor is a barbershop. This is one of the rooms here. This is the same room here. These are the smaller
Many
rooms.
photos of the same room.
Bathroom has been redone.
Okay.
There's the 2 rooms right here, and there's a 3rd bedroom, which is a little bit bigger. This is one of the other auxiliary rooms.
Beautiful, nice bathroom.
Look at this bathroom.
Simple and fresh.
Yeah, and so you wouldn't have to necessarily completely gut this and remodel because
Yeah.
it's livable.
It's livable. It's
Look at
good.
this. This looks nice,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, really nice.
So here's the
What's the catch?
the catch. The HOA is $36 a month.
Okay.
First of all,
Okay, what's the scam? What's the catch?
the catch is that you can only do 30-day rentals. You can't do daily rentals. Minimum 30 days.
Okay, that's not the catch I'm thinking of.
The current owner only rents it on Airbnb. He doesn't live in it
Okay.
because he lives in Rio Negro.
Okay.
The problem with it, the reason why we haven't sold it is because we haven't been able to show it because he's had it booked ever since he put it up with us.
Okay.
For the last 2 months or the last month, he's had it booked. We just had an opening, so we showed it to 2 clients recently. One of them loved it, but no offer's been made yet. And then another person's going to rent it for 2 months.
Okay.
So it's really hard to see and show to clients.
Yeah.
But he does want to sell it.
Question.
Yeah.
Does this have an elevator?
Oh, that's the big catch. It's a 5th floor walk up, no elevator. $153,000. I would just use this as a rental because you could easily get $2,000 a month, especially if you put a little jacuzzi right here. This is where I'd put the jacuzzi.
Great view.
And you have total privacy. No one can see into your balcony. You have a great view. I have a whole video of it on the Medellin Living Real Estate channel on YouTube as well. Yeah, this one's great. 153 for the price. I mean, you can't beat that. The next one is this one. This one is in Castropol, one of the areas that you said is very underrated in Medellin.
Yeah.
It is the penthouse unit. This one does have an elevator. This is the penthouse unit of a building in Castropol. It's on the bottom of the hill of Castropol along Avenida Poblado. So it's a walkable area of Castropol. And this is my favorite part. He put this awning here or whatever, this pergola is actually motorized so you can open it. That day when I took this picture, as you could see, it was raining. So it was closed, but you can open it. And it has a little bar there. There used to be a jacuzzi here. He took it out because he wanted to build the bar and have friends over, play guitar, etc. This is the first floor. So this is a 3-floor unit. This is the first floor. It's got the kitchen, living area, and a little first balcony over here. This is the kitchen area and the laundry area.
Nice view.
Yeah, look at the views here, though.
Nice.
It's crazy. That's Barrio Manila over here, by the way. It's got this unit has a pool, a kid's playground, a little basketball court, sauna, and a little gym. Here's that bar that I was talking about. I love that area.
I like his
it's
2
so
flags,
cool.
double flag.
Yeah, the double flag. Yeah. This is one of the rooms here.
This guy loves playing guitar.
Yeah, another room, the walk-in closet. The bathrooms were redone. Oh, there's that thing. Oh, the bathrooms were redone, and this is
That's
that
got a
one little
terrace.
balcony.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the little balcony. And this is the pool downstairs. This is the view from there into the south of Poblado. So
Okay.
the price on this one's $278,000. It's priced to sell. It's
Why do you think this is such a good deal?
well, because if you find anything else that is a penthouse unit, 3-story unit with a terrace, with a retractable roof on it, you're going over $300,000. This one's $278,000. It's 120 square meters. It's got 4 bedrooms. I would probably knock down one of the walls to make the master bedroom bigger, but it does have 4 bedrooms right now. You could knock down one of the walls, make the master bedroom bigger, or one of the other bedrooms bigger. I would live in a unit like this because it's just so cool.
Yeah.
I love that upstairs terrace with the view and the location. It's right across the street from my former neighborhood of Manila.
Okay.
And walking distance to Provenza, walking distance to Parque del Poblado. and you're along Avenida Poblado, and you're walking distance to the metro too.
Yeah.
So-
Castropol, really underrated
Yeah.
neighborhood because no one knows about it.
Yeah.
But it's basically just everybody knows about Manila. Everybody wants Manila. But you can't buy anything in Manila because there's nothing else for sale.
Yeah, there's nothing,
Nothing
for sale.
But Castropol is literally just north of that, the next big borders.
Yeah.
So think about Castropol.
Yeah, not a bad deal there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the ones that we wanted to show on this live, but we have a ton more. If you guys are interested in buying property in Medellin, all you got to do is click the link in the description below, fill out that form, and somebody on the team will get back to you as soon as possible. Let's
Immediately,
see.
actually.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, we try to, within 24 hours, if not within hours, we get back to you. Let's see. Any other questions here? Great content, but the prices are ridiculous. Guys, you've carved out a good niche. Your margins are through the roof if someone's buying any of these.
I wish we were getting that money. But we're not.
Yeah, we're not getting the money.
We
make
don't
3%.
set the prices. We don't make the margins.
Yeah.
We just make 3%.
Yeah, yeah. And if you think the prices are through the roof now, just wait 5 years from now when you have to go to the Philippines to buy a property.
You know how many people I met be like, oh man, I've been looking at properties. I've been looking at the market. I've been following the market, studying the market for 5 years. I should have bought then.
Yeah. Well, people are scared because, of course, it's Colombia.
Yeah,
like
of course.
if you're not committed, you got to be pot committed to invest in Colombia, or just have enough money to risk because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
But once you're down here and you know the market, you're like, there's no way that this is going to go down.
No.
It's only going to get more ridiculous because we don't even have real money in Colombia yet. Wait until the Arabs come here and start building their luxury.
Chinese.
And the Chinese come here and build their luxury resorts like the Wake building or Morph buildings or energy living type buildings, which we haven't seen.
Yep.
Those are only the 3 high-end, type
I think
of
they're all
buildings.
Colombian owned. We don't have any.
Yeah, there's no real money coming in yet. Just wait until that happens when they put the beach here, because that's a project. They're building like this big water resort park in Belén. Once that's built, you're going to be watching this video a year or 2 years from now and being like, man, that was only $278,000. That was only $153,000. Now it's going to be maybe 50% more to 100% more.
Well, we can tell that by some of the prices per square meter. Like all the stuff that we're seeing, you know, all these ones we said 4 million a square meter. This one I think might be like 7 million a square meter.
Right.
The new buildings like Morph and those type of energy
Wake,
living.
energy.
20 million a square meter.
20 million a square meter. So.
And it's not coming down. It's only going to go up.
Which is going to be good for us because we make commission, but obviously not good for, like, let's say the first time investor.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have a lot of money once you come into here, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where you're going to be kicking yourself because you could be selling your property then if you bought today.
Do you think people are going to be saying that 5 years from now? Oh, I should have bought 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, I think that happened. It's like one of that old Chinese proverb. When's the best time to plant a tree?
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
The next best time is right now.
But here's another good question, and you have addressed this before, but it's a good thing to talk about. Maybe you can explain. Some people are waiting for the bubble to burst. They think, all right, everything's 200K and above now. They think it's going to burst. Everything's going to crash back to like 100K. Then they're going to buy.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think about it?
If there's like a civil war in Colombia, that could happen.
Okay.
We're nowhere close to that. No, regardless of what you've been reading and watching on social media and YouTube, etc., whatever tabloid you're watching, there is no war in Colombia right now. Not that is affecting us firsthand. I mean, there's always a drug war, the narcos, all that stuff that happens in rural Colombia. And also the tension between the U.S. and Colombia. That all happens. That's all political. But for day-to-day life and economics for us, it's not made a big difference.
Not at all.
If anything, with the new president that's going to be being elected this coming year, I think things are going to change for even the better. Even though we've had a president that most people don't even like anymore, although he won the popular vote when he was voted in, not many people approve of him, kind of like a certain president of a certain country now. Despite not having the greatest president, the economy is still stable. The inflation actually went down from 10% to 9% last year. And property values have gone up. Tourism has gone up. Tourism's through the roof right now.
Safety has gone up.
Safety has gone up. It just feels better, right?
Yeah.
So with a new president on board that's a little bit more conservative, I think is going to be even better. But we'll see. Everything's a risk. Don't,
No risk, no reward.
no risk, no reward, right? You got to come down here, see it for yourself.
Exactly.
I'm an advocate for it because I live here and I do business here and I'm not leaving here ever. You're now pot committed. You bought a property here. You've married a Colombian. So you're kind of like here for a good time.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
not for
People
life.
always ask me that. Like, are you going to stay here? I was like, yeah. Where else am I going to go?
Yeah. You've traveled the world.
I have 50 countries.
50 countries.
This is the best one to live.
This is the
by
best
far.
one. By far the best one to
By
live.
far. Like some of these other places are really cool to visit,
Right.
but live there, no chance.
Wow. 50 countries. That's insane.
Yeah.
I've been to like 5.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
You can take Lorenzo.
Yeah.
By the way, do you want to explain a little bit about having a kid? Maybe that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
some
So
people.
guys, I have a kid now.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, he's a year and a half years
It's
old.
like one looks like he's 5.
Yeah, he's tall. The doctor said that he's in the highest height range for a 1.5-year-old, and it's true because we went to a 2-year-old's birthday party.
He's
when
a monster.
And he was taller than the 2-year-old.
Yeah, but for people that's never seen you standing up, you're 6'4" as well.
No, I'm 6'2.5".
Okay, and your brother's 6'4" or
Yeah,
6'3".
my brother's like 6'3",
Okay.
6'4". Yeah,
Okay.
there's. But anyway,
How is
having
it
a kid is
having a
amazing.
kid? How's it been? First of all, just in general in Colombia, and second of all, for you personally,
So
do you like it? Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it. I highly recommend having children if you don't have any children. But I'm really glad that I did at an older age. I'm 44 years old, so he was born a year and a half ago, and he is. It's so before I had him, I was coasting. I have other businesses. I have investments. I've got my properties. I do digital marketing for clients in the United States with my team. And I was coasting with that.
Yep.
I was happy with that. But he came along and I'm like, it kicked me into a different level. Now I have this business, the property management business. I'm looking at other options of other businesses.
Trying to build a building?
Buy a building. I want to do bigger things, not because I want to spoil him, but because I want to set a good example for him as to like.
You've been getting fit as well?
Go to the gym every single day. Things like that changed my life for the better. And then the cost of raising the child here compared to the United States is it's negligible here. I mean, compared to the United States. For example, I have the family health insurance, which is the middle level. There's 3 levels for the private health insurance. The bottom level, which doesn't have many perks, but it's good, was like what was it? It was like $1,500 per year.
Okay.
For like the family.
So like $110 a month?
Yeah,
Yep.
about $110 a month or so, maybe a little bit more or less. And then the middle one was about $2,500, and then the high end one is about $3,500. I think it might be $4,000
For the whole year, for the whole family?
for the 3 of us.
Okay.
So we got the $3,500 one, which I think at the time when I bought it was $3,200 because of the exchange rate for the whole year. And for example, pediatrician, I've got her on WhatsApp. He coughs, he farts, and we're like, bah! Look. Well, that was when we first started. We're like, oh, look at him.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's fine, or no, bring him in.
Yep.
Literally making an appointment was like that.
Yeah.
And then also for us personally, I've done all my blood work. Somebody came to my apartment, drew blood, took my
I've done
piss
that before
sample.
too.
Yeah,
That
took
was
my
cool.
pee sample.
It's like $60.
I'm STD free. But no, I did it mostly for, to see what my levels are,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
I was low on vitamin. Get this, I was out of everything, I was low on vitamin D, which
Me
is
too.
like the sun.
Me
I think
too.
a lot of people are.
I was low too.
The doctor said that that's very common.
I'm in
And
the
like,
sun every
we're in
day.
the sun every day.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
how much more do I need? But anyway, so the healthcare system here is awesome, and raising the kid, cost of raising the kid is a lot less, a fraction of the cost of what it would be in the United States. And then also I have my parents here, and my mom's like the nanny, so that's a perk. I do pay her. She doesn't do it for free, but it's also not the same price of paying a nanny in the United States.
Yeah,
or,
of course.
Or
That's
just leaving them.
a nanny's like full-time wage in like 30, 40, 50 grand.
Yeah,
in other countries.
It's good. So
Yeah.
life is good here. Having a kid is awesome. Manuela is now part of the team of the 5-star host team. She
Yep.
helps the property management. They're literally at a property right now cleaning
Now?
it out. Yeah.
8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Nice.
Literally 8:30. Bro, I'm telling you, our service is second to none. They're cleaning that property.
It's not 4.9 star
good.
host. It's 5-star host.
It has to be 5 stars all the time.
Okay. Good on them.
So having the kid, highly recommend it. But yeah, practice safe sex, kids.
One thing you mentioned, which a lot of people don't know, because I had never texted a doctor in Australia before. It was very formal. You go there, you pay. You can only talk to them for that like 10 minutes we're talking, and then after that, you want to talk to them, you got to pay another $100.
Yeah.
But I have my doctor, physio, everything on WhatsApp. I just talk to him like texting.
Bro,
it's amazing.
I thought since I'm 44, I was supposed to go get my prostate exam.
Okay.
So I made the appointment on the app, and I went to the urologist, and he like laughed at me. He's like, it's like after 50, right? I'm like, damn it, I thought it was after 40. He's
Did
like,
you do it anyway?
No. He's like, we don't need to do it. I'm just gonna get your blood. That's why I got the blood work. He's like, let's get your blood work done, etc.
He would have had a heart attack if you're like, can you do it anyway?
I was like, yeah, but I came here for this.
That would have been funny.
But no, but I've got him on my WhatsApp if I ever
the
need
WhatsApp
a
service here
so
is great.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yep.
So to answer your question, having a kid is awesome, and the women here are amazing. Yeah, as you know. How's the married life for you?
Same as the non-married life.
Well, you were living together before.
Yeah, you were living together for like 3 years before. So about the same. Good, happy days.
Any perks to being married, like legally, like tax reasons?
Well, I got a visa.
Here? Oh, the visa. Yeah, that's a huge one. Yeah, that's good enough.
That's a huge one.
Good
and also I can just piggyback off all her like insurance and all that stuff too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
For
awesome.
no additional cost.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all that is cheap anyway, so not really a perk. But no, it's nice. Like I don't know, you're not really a long-term relationship man.
No.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just have somewhere, like we've bought a house now, remodeled the house, decorating it together. Like you probably went to the bar last weekend. I went to buy a plant.
You went to buy a plant?
And it was nice. It was a nice
experience. No, last weekend we put up the Christmas tree.
Yeah. So it's a nice experience,
Yeah, when you have the kid now, you go less to the bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
So should we field some 5 minutes more questions and wrap it up?
Yeah, we're going to do some more questions if you guys have any questions before leaving here. And then
if anyone, the main topic of this, I guess, was
Medellin
real
living
estate.
and real estate.
If anyone wants to buy something within the next 30 days, just click the link that's in the description or also in the pinned comment, fill it out. And I'm probably going to be the one contacting you and talking to you. Also, for those who don't want to buy real estate but want to move to Medellin, what can they do?
There's a link in the description to the Medellin Masterclass webinar, where it's a free 1-hour webinar of what you can learn through the masterclass. Take that, and then if you want to join, all you got to do is click a link there.
Yep.
But it's there for you. Carib asks, is primary education free for locals? Yes, there is public schooling. It's not 100% for free because you do have to buy books. You have to buy uniforms. Every public school here wears uniforms. So you have to have money. There are subsidies for people that are lower income for those type of things. But yes, it does cost something to the locals. It's not 100% free. Lunches and food also. So yeah, but the paid education, the private education is some of the best.
Yeah.
Like the private schools here.
I wanted to ask you a question. Well, we field some more questions, but the vibe of Medellin about 2 years ago, I was watching I was doing YouTube, so I was watching a lot of YouTube videos of other people. And, the things in fashion was, Passport Bros and, some of these other things. A lot of YouTubers on there talking about digital nomad lifestyle and all that. What's the new... Is that popular anymore? People making YouTube videos still? And if so, what are the main topics of interest?
Well, I always get like
recommendation
videos. And
have you seen any themes coming up soon? Because at one point it was gentrification. Everyone was talking about that.
No, actually.
What's happening now?
Yeah, one of the bigger, for foreigners making videos out here, I've seen a lot of women.
Expats.
Yeah, women that
from
are traveling.
The United States?
From the United States. I've seen one from like the Caribbean that did one.
Yep.
I've seen one from Australia, from the UK, and also young young adults,
Okay.
that like nomads, making videos of them staying here longer term.
We never saw that 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
Women,
it was mostly tourism,
YouTubers,
and
yeah.
videoing the hookers up and down the street. They've cleaned up a lot of that actually
Yeah.
lately. Yeah, the last time I walked up Calle 10, I saw less of that. I was like, oh, this is different.
The Fico, the mayor of
mayor.
Medellin, they really cracked down the last couple of years. I read an article the other day that 55 Americans were turned back just this year at the airport. They arrived and they said, no, go back, because they had like previous like criminal record of some things like that.
Yeah.
So that was never there 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're really moving it forward.
Yeah, they're moving it forward. Fico's been great for
Yeah.
the city, I think, in that regard. Andrew looks like he's indeed been going to the gym. Arms be vascular. That's like,
Yeah,
oh,
you look
at that.
skinny, dude. Like, not skinny, but you
Lean,
look lean.
lean.
Much leaner.
I watched.
You go on
a
7
lot
days
of
a week to the
YouTubers,
gym, right?
Pretty much 7 days a
Okay.
week. I do some sort of exercise.
Nice.
And then Diego says, I thought guns are not legal. Yeah, these guns are legal. Is it difficult to get a license in Colombia? No. All you got to do is have
A gun
money.
license?
A gun license?
Oh.
It is.
Okay.
Gun licenses are difficult to get here. You have to
Thank
go through
God.
the paperwork. You have to store the gun somewhere because obviously it's not legal to carry
Yeah,
guns
yeah.
here.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. We don't have any mass shootings here ever.
Yep. Yep.
That's good. But the bad thing is that the bad guys do get the guns, like the ones on the black market. But usually they don't rob with the intention to
Kill
you.
Yeah.
Delete someone. We
Yeah.
can't say those words.
Oh, you can't say that?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to get censored. But anyway, but a driver's license, very easy. Whether it's motorcycle or just a regular driving license for a car, you just have to pay. I think it's like max $300, depending on who you go to.
Yeah.
Technically, you're supposed to do it the right way and go through a driving school and all that, but we're in Colombia.
True.
Everybody knows a guy.
And another question, we made a video about a year ago that we saw some changes in the Medellin landscape when before it was just kind of single guys. And then it became, single females were coming here, which is you said that with your comment about YouTube. A lot of single female creators are making videos now about living here as a digital nomad. And then it became families. What do you say now? Walking around the streets of Poblado, let's say.
You still see, for example, in Manila, you'll see like the backpackers.
Backpacker type, yep.
But what you see a lot of, especially in that area, which I do love, are Spanish school students. And they literally will, I'll sit in the cafe because I work almost every day out of one of the cafes in Manila. I'll choose one and just work out of there. And I'll sometimes be sitting next to two white people and they're speaking in Spanish to each other, practicing. I'm like, that's awesome. Like if I were to go to a country and wanted to really learn about the country, I would take a course, language course, immerse myself and try to practice as much as possible. And that's what you see a lot of. I also see a lot of families, like because I do have Airbnbs and now we have the property management company. We get a lot of families coming to rent out the places, right? Like literally right now we have two parents and the kid and the young adult and his girlfriend staying in one of ours, and then like an 85-year-old guy in another one. So it's less touristy. It's more like people staying here longer term, families kind of discovering the location and being like, oh, we could stay here longer or maybe live here a little bit. So you do see that a lot. I'm part of the parent group now, which is like expats and Colombians in this group, of WhatsApp group, a parenting group. And there are so many people with kids here.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. Like hundreds.
Okay.
Yeah, in that one group. So I'm assuming there's even more.
Yeah. We have some questions here.
Yeah.
And then let's wrap it up.
Yeah. This one?
Oh, here we go. I saw this is a good one actually.
Okay.
I saw Medellin recently celebrated 350 years as a city. Where do you see the city in the next 5 years? Really good question, actually.
Well, in the next 5 years, we'll have a new extension to the metro, which is one of the biggest things that's happening. Is they're extending a line that's going to cut through Laureles and Belén, which there is no metro that cuts through there right now. It's all buses. A lot of heavy traffic in that area. One of the reasons why you didn't really like living there. One of the cons is the traffic and the fact that, you can't walk over to a metro station unless you live in Estadio, Floresta, or those areas. But if you're anywhere inside of Laureles or Belén, you're kind of SOL.
Yeah.
So they're going to build a line all across 80th Street and it's going to connect with Agua Catala. And it's going to be, as I heard, I think it's going to be a light rail, not an actual metro line. But it would be nice if it was a big metro line, because that would move a shit ton of people. But either way, the thing is
infrastructure upgrades.
Yeah, so infrastructure, transportation upgrades, and also they're building this big
the beach, the beach in Medellin,
like a big water park thing.
The beach, and they're gonna have tram connecting there.
Connecting it, so it's going to be a different face of Medellin in the next 5 years.
For sure.
What's going to happen to real estate and prices for rentals in those areas?
Probably going to double again.
The same thing that happened in Buenos Aires and downtown when they built the light rail. The neighborhoods along the light rail shot up in price. Commercial, restaurants, everything shot up. Nightlife shot up in those areas because now they're all well lit, because they have to be, because the metro runs, or the light rail runs until like 11. So yeah, the face will change, and also the prices will change. Cost of living will change in those areas, but also opportunity. I see it as opportunity. I mean, some people see it as like, oh, it's more expensive. Well,
and in terms of overall eyes on Medellin from tourists and expats, I think it's going to go crazy in the next 5 years.
I think we're going to see a lot more tourism.
Every week you see a different article from Forbes or, one of these travel websites, Time Magazine, of this Colombia.
Yeah.
It's rocket ship is about to take off.
And again, like I said, I think the big pivoting point will be next year, mid-year, when the new president gets elected, because this means new ideas, progress, going from someone that leans heavy left to maybe someone more centered or heavy right, or heavy, or not heavy right, because I don't think that'll happen, but more right leaning, which usually is better for the economy, for safety, for investment, for international policies and international
and they're
relations.
Definitely going back right, because they tested left, and because they didn't
approval rating is super low.
They had right for a long time.
Then
they're like, it's been bad, let's try left, and it was even worse. So I think they've gone back to right for sure.
People thought, like, especially the popular vote amongst the lower income people, thought that this was going to be their savior. And in fact, he's not. And he hasn't been. So I think it's going to be leaning back to the right. But anyway, the whole point is that things are going to change a lot mid next year, and when we have another live mid next year,
in another year,
another 3 years,
when we get another spare
I
hour,
promise you, I will go live more often, guys, because I was more consistent. Now that I'm focusing more on marketing for Medellin Living, I will be going live more often because I'll have more time. But you're going to be kicking yourself for not buying. If you can buy, if you can't buy because you don't have the money right now, that's perfectly fine. I think opportunities come whenever you are ready for that opportunity, and maybe Medellin won't be your opportunity. Maybe Pereira will, maybe Cali will, maybe Manizales. There's so many cities in Colombia. Colombia is a beautiful country, and there are a lot of places to discover.
Exactly. Let's finish out these questions, and then I got some
got
Thai
here?
food to eat, buddy.
Okay.
Let's do the next one. He said, this is Avatars, said, I'm ignorant of geography in Medellin. Are there any areas with lakeside properties? Not in Medellin.
No.
But if you go to a town, Guatapé, what's that, 40 minutes drive away? It's right on a man-made lake, and it has a lot of lakeside properties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a few lakes in Colombia. I mean, Colombia is the land of like biodiversity.
Yeah.
Like I think it's one of the apart from Brazil, I think it's like the second most biodiverse.
Number 2 in the world.
So you could be in a place that has mountains, or you could be on the beach. You could be on a lakeside. You could be. There's so many. So yeah, it's just a little bit of research and you'll find it. But the nearest one here is called Guatapé. Yeah. Okay. Can't wait to return to Medellin next month for the first time for Christmas. You missed the sancocho, yeah. Christmas time in Colombia is awesome. I love Christmas time here. Thank you for your time. This has been interesting. Thank you, Carib. We will be live soon again. If you guys have any questions, make sure, if you're watching the recorded version, make sure to leave a comment, subscribe to our channels, email us, or click the link in the description to fill out the form. Join the Medellin Masterclass, whatever you want. You're free to do whatever you want. Medellin's amazing.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. We understand that. We just live here and do business here, so we're big advocates of it. I've never really heard of someone that comes down to Medellin and is like, this place sucks. It's always the opposite.
Unless they get robbed.
Yeah, unless if you're, but even people that I've known that have gotten robbed, they're like, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not like a big deterrent, but I don't know many people that have been robbed.
No, me neither.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Good session. 2 hours in.
Yeah, good job, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, awesome. See you guys in the gym. See you guys later. Thank you guys for joining.
Catches.
Now, how do I turn this off?
Stop.
Oh.
The big button.
Let's stop recording. We recorded the whole thing. We'll
Nice.
see what quality.